Так что я прям не смогу себе сыграть.
For a treat for one of the best T sides we'll ever see on Ancient, if they're that confident in picking it. But Nuke is the decider. This is where Heroic, last time they faced at the RMR, that's going to be incredibly exciting if we reach there. But bringing it back to Inferno, I really think that
Нет. Я всех нагибаю. Савика. Давай что-то ты там напишешь, типа, стрим с этим, ты с этим. Ну, типа, со мной можно написать. Типа, стрим с машиной. Там что-то вот так. Ну да.
Через сколько у нас? Через минут 15.
Я, короче, стрим не буду, наверное, смотреть. Я только в нем участвую. А что ты начал? Раз. Давай, давай, собирайся.
Ты зайди.
Что? Еще раз. Позови, что?
Зайди, посмотри.
Ну, я уже на канале сижу.
Да?
Да, я вот ожидаю, покажу.
Refresh is one of the only players that doesn't really change their spot round to round on the T side for Heroic, because they're a team that's always going to call different strategies, mix things up with faster plays, but he's always in the apartments. Last time around, he was the guy taking advantage of Electronic. He was the guy that was getting in his face, making sure that he would catch him off on timing. Any mistake that Electronic made, Refresh was there to capitalize, but that's the worrying sign for Heroic.
Они играют мажор, это жестко вообще.
Refresh is not playing that well right now. He has the worst rating of everybody in this server of the entire Legend stage.
You're being too nice. You're being too nice. 0.87 rating, 0.77 impact rating. That's what we're talking about. These are the numbers that we are talking about for Refresh. Just for comparison's sake, when he beat NAVI, he was at 1.25 rating. That's almost a 0.4 difference.
Послушай себя.
This man right here has to deliver way more than sing.
Да, сам себя.
Как? Не слышишься?
Whenever the situation is a few trades and suddenly you needed to get that extra +1 just to get your foot in the door, this man was doing it. He was breaking things apart. Can he do it again?
А что у тебя за предмет в этом инвентаре?
А, кстати, да, давайте посмотрим, что у меня какие-то предметы. Напечатанный граффити выпал.
А, понятно.
Еще пока этот Нави не играет, можно еще медальку получить. Я пока играл без стримов, у меня медалька накопилась. Можно ее прокатить. Получить медаль за службу. Нормальная тема.
А, получить медаль, получай!
Зеленая теперь медалька, прикольно. У меня две зелененькие медальки, мне в 21 году, в 22 году, в 20 году. По порядку, наверное, да. 20-й год получается. А почему не по порядку? 20-й хотел, 21-й и 22-й. А у меня не в разброс идет, получается.
А чё, один я сижу?
Да, похоже.
Ты тут? Ну да, только я сижу.
Ну что, до начала матча у нас 9 минут остается, да? Какую карту, интересно, пикнут наши Нави? А как же этот Нави?
Да похер мне.
А я собирался смотреть Нави.
А я собирался идти в ММ.
И Лус, здоровый Лусик.
Пошли в ММ.
Тебе и Лус пишет здорово.
Мне?
Да.
Ну-ну.
Да, сам посмотри.
Мне? Всех?
А, ну хочешь покажу тебе скины? Да, давайте покажу мои скины. Воу, смотрите, опустошите вот мой любимый скинчик. Потом идет этот скинчик. Я убавлю чуть-чуть.
Много, слишком много.
В смысле много? У меня мало скинов вообще, я бомжик. А надо, кстати, поставить мне дигл вот этот. У меня какой-то дерьмовый дигл стоял. Вот этот у меня стоял. Поставлю вот этот дигл.
Это ты написал?
Из агентов, затеров. У меня только один вот этот. А за спецназ у меня там 2 агентика.
У тебя диглов так много.
Смотрите, сколько у меня кейсов накопилось жестко, да? Ну, в общем, мы будем смотреть турнир сейчас. Нави против героиков.
И вот эти ты все кейсы собираешься
Хз,
открывать?
кто победит, если честно. Я не представляю. Кейсы?
Да.
Конечно. Ты мне ключи только дай, хорошо?
Давай сейчас.
Подписчики, дайте мне ключи, пожалуйста. Скажи, чтобы они ключи дали. Я открою.
Пацаны, дайте, пожалуйста, ключи.
Через 5 минут будет еще турнир, только начнется. Все готовятся Нави, реально обсуждают тактики. Но мне непонятно, какую они карту пикнули еще. А может быть на ХЛТВ, да, сайте видно? Сейчас я чекаю. ХЛТВ.
Че, пошли?
Нагибатор не угомонится никак, он не поймет, что мы не будем играть в матчмейкинг. Нагибатор, мы сегодня матчмейкинг будем только этот, после трансляции, ой, то есть после турнира смотреть.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see, right? It isn't all just been simple. You don't want the simple show here. That conversation is done and dusted as far as NAVI are concerned. We're getting this one ready.
Сейчас я стрим быстренько альтабнулся. Настрою немного, совсем немножко.
I mean, yeah, let me give you that roster rundown for everyone that's perhaps new to this world of Counter-Strike. For Natus Vincere, we have Bit, Perfecto, Electronic, Simple, and Boomich. And for the Danes, ready to bring the pain is Tessus,
У вас,
Stout,
наверное, там может зависнуть
Shush,
экран.
and Refresh.
Я
And they have
альтабнулся.
managed to
Слышь?
shake off a lot of the doubters of translating
Слышь?
this play to an offline environment. They're doing it at the major. They have the opportunity to do it where I don't think anyone can
Один
question
зритель.
if they advance to the semi-finals.
Yeah, this would be huge.
Sure.
One way to shake the online attack would be to win a major.
Oh, that works too.
Что
And one way
говоришь?
to get over that hurdle would be beating NAVI. We're getting underway right now, getting into the server, getting into freeze time. NAVI
Машина.
Я говорю, никогда начнется.
Я не понял ничего.
I don't think that's quite enough. It's a
Опа, они играют уже, смотрите. Они тикнули Инферно. Давайте сразу этот через КС-ку будем смотреть лучше матч, блин. Грузится долго, быстрее грузись. Ну кто, как думаете, кто победит? Нави или героики? Я все-таки болею за Нави. Опа. А Нави за эту сторону. А включим голос комментаторов даже можно включить, прикиньте. Жестко, жестко. Их почему-то не слышно. Давай, если Нави выиграет, ты мне скин на 20 рублей. Шо? А странно, что-то ни хрена не слышу, что за бред. Нави решит выйти на ленд А. Позвонили, Илус, а ты как думаешь, кто выиграет, Нави или эти героики? Ну, у них ситуация, конечно, 4-3. Будут ретейкать. Не, Нави взяли. Позови меня. Все, убегает чел.
it's only Tessus. NAVI have the clock on their side, and he's just trying to get something.
Может попробовать перезайти, да? Перезайти. Ну, комментаторов не слышу почему-то. Я хз. А может я в настройках убрал? Я не знаю. Может быть реально отсюда смотреть?
Open the book of those CT pistol setups. And Stoun's brought aggression already down on second mid. Bit forced to watch as this second round force buy favors Heroic on the opening exchange.
Dangerous as well here. Perfecto's already been chipped on through. That scout for KD and could become a problem throughout.
It's a numbers game, Inferno.
Не знаете, почему не слышно
walking with a
вкладки?
limp early into
Я
our
вообще не
second
понимаю,
round.
почему
This is a
мне
Heroic
вкладки не
classic
слышно.
here. You can see trying to stay ahead of the play. Grouping the numbers together. Staying ahead of where Navi want to finish.
Нави решает
Flirt with top
на
banana
бэклайн
here.
все-таки заходить.
That's one back.
Simple
Simple
дает.
steps up to the plate and draws a
Open.
level 4v4 now.
Interesting smoke. Suspicious. Not for Simple.
Что у нас тут замышляет?
Looks like they're going to thread the needle right here. This
КС
is
надо бы
huge.
прибавить, да?
Just rerouting, staying together, pack mentality.
It's the right call. Let's see
Мид вышли.
if any
4
more
в
of those
4.
bullets can connect. Cadian has already hit Perfecto once, shy this time. Long, looking to be occupied. The smokes will bloom. No info for Heroic. Flying blind as the rotate is called upon. Lots of contact.
Может даже не комментировать, просто этот... Можно я включу, и они сами мне комменты будут. На английском, правда,
Very
обидно,
little
конечно.
resistance on their path. Responsible to housekeep, and he sweeps two under the rug.
Не, Нави опять раунд берут, они будут сейвить, скорее всего. Ну почему у меня не слышно вот вкатки, вот это непонятно.
What a recovery. I mean, you know that things can get
Громкость.
sketchy, chat. You lose an opening frag and a scout tag. And Navi
Комментатор
really
вот у
don't
меня
seem to
вроде
break a
включено.
sweat.
Yeah, you look at that situation, Bit going down and Perfecto low. Most teams would be a bit more flustered, right? They would actually change the pace there. But Navi, they stayed staunch, they stayed quite heavy with their presence
Ну они
across the map,
сейвят,
clearing top banana, showing they wanted to fight.
Ну попробуем, что ли, последний раз зайти. Все равно не будет слышно, наверное, комментаторов. Контроль камеры комментатора. Ну ладно, в маленьком экранчике тоже норм, да.
Another tag, but does not get anything lethal. And that's going to be a 2-0 start.
Хотя ни хрена не норм на самом деле.
2 weapons saved. Some pistols to be juggled, and still not out of the clear just yet, Navi. The guns will be coming through in the next.
Вот как тут подвисает, понимаете, какая проблемка? Вот настолько подвисает.
Heroic looking to remain threatening on a light one. And already, again, the scout pestering Navi. Electronic this time, hamstrung, and another connect. Okay.
This is a scary round now. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is actually very dangerous for Navi here. That's a nade, and that's a kill. Cadian, Stown, they've combined for 2 problems for Navi now.
Yeah, and don't forget, Electronic is still bleeding internally. 30 HP for him. This is going to be bleak. Can they turn and flip the script again? They did it once.
A bit more direct right now. This would show the class of Navi. If they can peel around back like this, they're in dire straits. Tessus with a power position. Still multiple members reside.
They call upon Bit, master of the headshot, precise. Unlike anyone else, but he's not ready for Tessus. Hung, drawn, and quartered on the entrance. There's not much left for Navi here. It was only little gun. Boomich, a little bit of Lisa life out of the leader. 3 remain. Oh, it's awkward. 45 seconds, and that's the last of his smokes. A nice AK upgrade. That will work well to ply his trade. Heroic, still not a guarantee with what they've brought in. But so close, it's at their fingertips. A single click out of that Deeg could end it here. He's found another smoke, but that's
nice
the scout.
shot.
Wow,
Там Рэми
heroic.
Бумыча.
Didn't even
Хороший был
invest.
человек.
That is going to really flip the script quick.
That's a huge round to win early here. That's going to do wonders for their confidence. It's going to get them fired up to win a round like that on the stage against a team like NAVI. It's a massive start for Heroic here, but that's not going to bottom out the economy of NAVI. They kept it clean in the previous. Heroic know that. They know there's cash in the coffers, and both teams now getting into a bit of investment. Look what Cadian's been able to equip into his hands. The big green out to play. NAVI are clearly taking their time about things. Not rushing it, just these defaults, and that's a shot from Cadian to open up the account.
Minus
Another
Bobic.
opening kill here.
They just keep getting that mid-fight, and woof! A
Ой,
dink
как больно
exchange.
накоцали чела.
Saved by the apartment penetration, but Bid catches one to the dome as well. Already NAVI trying to overcome the circumstance.
Не попадает, Simple.
Immediate
Тушит
extinguish
молик.
implies a threat imminent. Out of the spearhead of NAVI, simple, sharp, pointy, ready, yet smoked. Fnatic smoke, and they'll trade blows with that.
Yeah, it's basically negated right there. Exchange smokes, they're not going to be out.
И почему зависает, реально? Лучше смотреть все-таки
Forward and more shots on through. Stan's going to take down Simple.
через
Easy as you like it now.
Go TV или как это называется.
5 disadvantage for Navi
GTV.
here. This limper by
Ну тогда
coming
не
on
слышу
through. You can see it
комментаторов.
stinging, and Stan, what is this?
He wants a little more. Oh, it's down! He started this round, he nearly closed it on his own
Бит
as well.
остается у нас
One loose
один.
bit tag, we
Мне
know
кажется, у него
about that.
нет шансов. Какой у меня любимый игрок?
And his intentions
Конечно же,
and
Simple
objectives for this
Levels.
round change dramatically. Bit now on a survival mission, and there is a little bit of a hunt. Refresh throws the Deerstalker on.
А у тебя какой любимый игрок?
Takes him down, nothing brought into the next
Levels.
round of play.
Two really good rounds in a row, and the positive in that last one was Cadian having the confidence to go for a fight down mid. He knows it's extremely unlikely they have an AWP, so he's willing to look for a fight like that. But Stan
Нельзя
over towards
растянуть
Banana,
экран.
he's just putting pain
Прикиньте,
down
можно
range
было
for
бы
the
растянуть
AK-47.
экран. А еще самое обидное, что я я не могу зайти на Twitch, на Steam TV, и на YouTube не будет видно. Я же сейчас стримлю типа через захват этого, через захват игры, и поэтому теперь невозможно захватить мне ничего, кроме КС. Вам видно только игра и все. Я могу лазить типа по сайтам, по всему, переписываться, вам не будет видно ничего, кроме КС. Вот такая у нас тема в последнее время. На самом деле это неплохо, все стримеры стримят через захват игры. Да. Давно надо было к этому прийти, но я что-то разобраться долго не мог с этим. Что Нави, пока байтит? А, у Нави эко-раунд. Они будут байтить, наверное. Пытаться девайсы какие-то выбить. 2-2 пока счет, да? Кто победит, Илос? А у Симпла Дигл. Симпле. Выходит мид. Опасно, опасно еще. Помянем. Бит и Бумич. У Илоса любимый игрок.
That is 3 consecutive though in response.
Even though it's a bit of an eco bash right there as well for Refresh, if he can get on the ball with a couple kills early, it's going to do wonders for his confidence here. The Desk pointed out he has been having a bit of a stinker. Right? There's no way around it. Hasn't been having the most impact.
Что у нас сейчас будет?
But if he can come
Закуп?
alive now, no better time to do it here.
Или они, они берут тактический перерыв.
Comes on through,
Нави.
nice to follow.
У них там вроде по 4 перерыва, да? Или по 3 на команду. Наверное, по 4, по 30 секунд. На премке, по-моему, на Faceit. Мне, конечно, никогда не было према. Там можно брать перерывы по 30 секунд. 4 раза. Ну, сколько я слышал. На самом деле, хз вообще.
Couple of AK-47s find themselves in the CT hands, an extra advantage.
На самом деле я в этом реально не шарю, я нубик в КС. Реально.
Cadian's not going to try anything hyper-aggressive again. He got away with it on the first one.
Остановить поиск. Люди видят глобала почему-то, вот смотри, и сразу начинают приглашать, если появился, не будет видно. А и сразу приглашают, когда еще люди смотрят название. Очень уж любят глобалов.
He could be an instrumental factor in matches like this. We know that Heroic don't necessarily have the best of times when the stages come out. And this is their chance to change that tune. But look at the purchase coming through from Bit here.
Растянуть бы вот этот экранчик, блин.
Yeah, he could have bought an AK. So this is showing that maybe something a little bit quicker
Мне в
out of
катке
this, knowing
почему-то
that this
не слышно
AWP of Cadian has been in their face. Keep your eyes
Раньше
on
было
Bit here.
слышно.
Has a pretty decent spawn, so a pace change might be coming out the back pocket of
спасай
this NAVI
ситуацию. Как
playbook.
включить этот голос комментатора в катке?
already reeked of anti-strat. Let's see.
Спасай
Refresh this time,
ситуацию.
looking for answers in middle. A light jiggle. Nothing to report. Shush does get licked by the flames a little.
Great flash.
Completely forces off the orb, and actually information now relayed to NAVI. They know the orb leans A.
Ну, можно половину катки смотреть через через это окошко, а потом просто это на середине я через GTV или GoTV зайду.
Heroic
Там,
responding
конечно, не будет
kind. Util
слышно
to slow them down.
комментаторов.
Destabilize and rotation.
Включи все в музыке.
Good response here from Heroic, all things
Они
considered.
по
Because that
кабате, да?
utility early was very direct. It got them the space they were looking for, but that
Сейчас
stalls
будет пикать
NAVI
мид.
out on their timings here. Still geared, still postured forward. But a good hold right now from Heroic to shut this down before it gets out of control.
У меня вроде бы все включено в музыке, если что.
They've got two smokes, and already the presence of these CTs is being felt as
Это же не
constant
музыка
little
вроде
pokes
как.
and prods, nades, shots. Inferno, a constant guessing game for
Просто
this
все на
T-side.
макс. Куда они решают выйти-то, Нави?
This is the power of Heroic CT side.
And this is the
Прям тянут время, вообще пипец. На
They're
последних
threatening
секундах
everywhere on the
будут выходить.
that map now, and Electronic has been spotted over towards that short side on the jiggle. So good information going both ways, but time starting to become the problem.
Как
33
настоящие
seconds on the
проигроки.
clock, and they need to get a move
Кто-то
on here.
фейкует. А, они прямо все под А стоят.
But that's
Пятером.
the answer. Caden's got his knife up.
Сейчас
It's
будут
Perfecto's.
вылетать.
20 seconds. They do have to hurry up now.
20 секунд, да.
One single CT can stand up, and it might be Tesla.
Похоже, не получился, да, у них заход. Принимать.
Everyone contributes, and that will be enough. Get out of here. Simple will take down punt, but it's just for survival. NAVI get nothing done.
Save it.
I think they're hoping for
Simple.
the classic heroic aggressive response on the
Simple.
CT side, right? They're getting the space. They're very threatening
вот
early. You
звук,
can see Banana
смотри.
there was a bit of pressure. Tom mid, there
Голосовой
was
чат.
pressure very early
Это,
within the
наверное, не
round.
голосовой
The
чат.
utility of NAVI was to get that space, that flash onto Cadian was perfect to get hold and boil it quick
Потом
within the round. But
громкость
Heroic
комментаторов,
out-pushing.
ну,
They're
что
actually just sitting
поставлю.
on back. They responded. They said, yeah, come on in, we're here. And then they didn't. And that meant that NAVI
Громкость
standing forward
музыки.
couldn't find the fights they were looking for. They ran out of time, and it
Ну,
starts to look like
это
the
вообще
classic
не
NAVI as they limp in
считается.
late and they just get peeled apart. So Heroic's game plan is working well
Это
now.
будет музыку
NAVI are the
мне
ones
играть,
who have
это
to
вообще не
address
нужно.
this. They're the ones who have to change their approach and try and find a bit of a gap because Heroic now have grown that
Позиционирование
lead to
речи
2.
игроков.
You talk about classic NAVI. I saw Edward is in attendance today. He's watching his boys play.
Это вообще тоже можно убавить.
Cadian is once again in pursuit of early glory.
перезайти?
Knocks the socks off of Boomich. And a deep
Перезаходить
smoke
долго.
to maintain control. Solid start for the Danes.
Я раньше типа заходил просто, и спокойно было слышно комментаторов, какие-то я там смотрел.
You know someone that's pretty damn good at making space. Starts with a B, ends in a
Не
T.
помнишь, какие команды там играли. Но было слышно комментаторов.
Fresh actually flirting with something here. He's got assistance and support. Heroic, they've got their finger on the pulse consistently so far.
This is a chess game right now. Right? There's not a lot of action on the map. Their heads-up fights
Вот
aren't happening,
смотрите,
but what
учитесь,
they're
как
doing is they're
проигроки
trading
играют.
places. They're exchanging map territory. And we know this game's all about info. Flashed off Cadian. You got to be careful about this one, mate, as he does duck on back.
Oh, you
Мне
can
еще
see
далеко до
he's got
таких
a hunger in
игроков,
him
конечно,
today.
But look at this, right? Look how
Я по
often they're making the
сравнению с
pieces
ними
move
вообще
around the
просто
board
ноль.
here, just with space and a little bit of threat alone. They're just trying to
Что-то у Нави
outmaneuver each
какой-то
other
бай.
until the final throws and hope that they've done exactly
Бумыч,
this.
электроник с пистолетиками. Сейчас будут на А-план
Refresh.
ходить.
For redemption.
Примет,
First
принимает
foul, lot
рефреш.
more progressive.
Ой-ой-ой.
Refresh! That is disgusting! 4 members of NAVI collapse and Refresh stands up.
Сложно, сложно. У них, похоже, денег мало у Навей. Поэтому так плохо получается что-то пока что. Надо бы Симплу Авик закупить, и все пойдет как по маслу. Да.
Hang on, yeah, that is their second.
Будет изи победка. Тактический перерыв 30 секунд. Давайте пока начнем поиск игроков. Вот сейчас я запущу поиск, и мне 100% кто-то пригласит. По-тупому вышли. А как выходить-то по-умному? Под флешку надо было. Надо было слушать Илуса. Вот, а где флешки? Флешки не было. У них, видимо, даже флешки не было. Нету денег у NAVI. Сколько у них сейчас? Был бы покрупнее экран, я бы вот увидел. Вот 3 калаша, что ли, да? А, нет, 2 калаша, 2 галила, как он сейчас называется. И пистолетик. Так, давай я убавлю просто, то есть 1% поставлю. А то меня там приглашают. Ты не проигрок? Я думал, ты проигрок, Лус, обидно стало сразу.
In any way, shape or form.
But that's the thing, it's just poking them and hoping as we
Калаш.
are on gun watch here. They're doing so well over there on the CT side that they're throwing away AKs.
Я думал, ты проигрок, Лус.
Again, with this NAVI pressure all over the map, you know, Heroic are scratching their heads as to where the final commit will be made. They have managed to string together 5 consecutive rounds. It's NAVI's turn to try and
А у героиков уже авик есть, прикинь?
There hasn't been more than
Так
one
что им сложно
casualty for
выходить.
Heroic.
Навиан.
You should have spotted something there, Cadian. Should have seen the bootstraps.
Убьет его, нет?
Oh, he's dead. He's got to be dead.
Ой-ой-ой. Ну, уверенности, просто смотри, как проигрок пикает.
And that should mark and signify NAVI doing exactly what we discussed. They might even have 5 alive on this one.
Лус, я тоже, наверное, средняк. Я реально... Нет, я самый главный нубик КС.
It's not a walk in the park. This is a quarterfinal.
Yeah, and this time they actually stayed in one of those aggressive maneuvers, right? Up until this point, we've seen Cadian go for peaks, but then drop back. And just to note, our Obs team catching that gun, they actually scooped it up from top mid. They took it back to spawn and they threw it away because there was a couple of players for NAVI there who were just on Tech 9s. So really doing the housekeeping here, Heroic. It's those little details right there. Now, you don't win around like this, but it's a fun little detail to keep track of nonetheless.
Yeah, only it's a Galil for bit. I know one player I'd stick on a Galil than an AK one-shot headshot. What was his headshot? I saw it on
It was like
Twitter.
70% or something.
70%.
Yeah, well, that's what we've come to expect from this guy, right? The new headshot machine.
А если, кстати, сейчас мне... А, Faceit у меня не запущен. Античит Faceit я не запускал, походу, забыл.
Whilst being a heavy contributor and role player within your role.
Well, this is the thing, right? He only has 2 kills to his name right now, but coming into
Да не, я не выше среднего, Илус, я ниже среднего, я думаю.
He is the best player in the tournament right now. There's a couple of other names we can throw into that.
19 years old.
Yeah, well, and he's already won a major and a whole bunch of other massive tournaments. This kid is just a monster here, but so is Electronic.
Вырывает электроник, просто авиком убивается. На изи просто. Опа, Симплуха берет АВП. Сейчас будут такие флейки просто.
Other side. Smoke to delay, Perfecto dribbling one forward here to try and buy himself a little bit of space. And there's more than what you'd expect towards the top of Banana here.
Не умею я комментировать матчи, реально. Не профессионал я в этом. Нашел смачину. Перфектик. 5-4 ситуация. Вот надо учиться от про-игроков, как они все-таки пикают, как они настреливают. Не хватает нам этого. Под Б 3 чела у NAVI и под А двое. Вот непонятно до конца вот времени, куда они собираются выйти вообще. 30 секунд это на таймере, они только еще выходят.
of them are, and they've already repelled electronic. No answers in mid.
Time's a problem here.
Hits the pull. 20 seconds. Start to close the gap. Tighten the noose. Simple call off. It's a double again for Refresh. And it looks like Heroic have done it again. Refresh with the double. Destroys NAVI on the late commit, and only one is Boomage. See you later, Alligator. That's 12-4. Refresh has come to the stage, revitalized.
Yeah, this is going to start looking really good for Refresh now.
6-3 дальше
massive
уже.
multi-kill rounds over towards A, just denying their entrance up middle. And this pace again seems to be a bit of
А
a
мы
problem
можем
for Navi
подвинуть
here.
это?
Had to rely on
Не,
electronic in the
можем
previous.
так
They just
уменьшить.
crack open that site single-handedly.
Не, ну подвинуть не
Time
можем
here
так
coming up mid through an incendiary. This is well done by Heroic, holding on to that utility.
Профессиональные матчи в прямом эфире.
Stalling out NAVI, who can get back into a buy, but
Ну, Нави выиграли в 21 году. Вот даже где-то было написано. Мажор. В 22-м выиграют, интересно, Нави? Мажорик или не смогут?
Might not be ready for this. Tessa's heavily
Выход
flashed.
банан, что ли, фастовый?
Looking to maintain control, but it
А
might
может
be
не
one man
фастовый?
on our screens. Refresh to seize all the control.
Ой,
Already
подпушил.
pushed up down mid.
Рефреш.
Simple's laughing at him.
Бессовестный вообще.
Glocks
Делает
him
грязь.
down, cancels his plans. And this is a very different
А его с
looking round
глока
already.
убивает просто.
Quick response in util. Down with a big role to
Simple.
play in this round. Smoke will hold them at bay.
4 в 3.
I know this is coming.
Зря, наверное, подпушил
Great
рефреш.
read here, it's down.
Лучше бы оставалось
Here's
там
the
в
door
пленту
locked.
сидеть.
There is no way forward, there is no way back. NAVI, they only have one choice, and here they go.
Oh, flashed off. Tessa lives on. Second flash. Still blind. Still knocks
Пипец.
Tessa's lights out. And they have to
Флешовым
get
просто,
across.
да?
And they will
Он ему кружочек
facilitate
поставил
it by
или
the
просто
spray.
тело наше?
It's perfect from NAVI. A flawless
Ставится
take of the
упаковка.
B site.
Had all the info right there, Heroic. I know they're in a number disadvantage situation, but
Ну
we
кто
hope for a
победит-то?
little bit more in a
В итоге,
situation
как вы
like that.
считаете?
NAVI, when the fights come their way, this is two rounds, two of the gun rounds right now, where there's been more aggression coming out of Heroic. They've been able to blow them out,
Многие
find the
ставят на Нави
trades,
просто.
get themselves into the rounds, and then just convert these number advantages here. So Heroic are going to have to think a little bit differently. I know they're feeling confident. I know
Ну, не будут
Refresh probably
сейвить,
has the
нет.
spawn. He's like, boss
Они
man,
не
let me run
пойдут.
down mid here, let me take a fight. But in rounds where they've taken those aggressive maneuvers, it has fallen apart for Heroic.
Может, кстати,
The
пиариться
games
с помощью поиска
need to
команды,
reel it in.
просто ставишь, типа, и
Does that
все,
round
не
strike you as
принимаешь.
what Navi have been waiting for?
Yeah,
Люди
they
будут
want those
заходить в мой
aggressive
профиль
maneuvers
и
from Heroic, whether it's at the start of the round or
подписываться на
whether it's in the
канал.
mid-round. Because this is why they have been in such a
Мой
slow
профиль.
pace. They're happy to take the fights. They just want to take the fights on their terms. They don't want to be running into you, into your
Бьют
setups. They don't want to
Нави,
have nades in their
раунд.
hands. They want to just be sitting back. Allow your aggressive maneuver to happen. When Heroic have taken their time, right, when they've sat back, they've been good with their utility, they're converting the rounds because Navi only have 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 5v5. The CTs are going to have that advantage. Good opener from Bit there. Simple on the clock was great, but it's that one right there from Electronic, because if Tessa's gets
Ну,
one or
конечно,
two kills,
подлагивает
that
тут
round is
немного в этом
on.
окошке.
Heading over towards spawn, Stan would have been in a fast
Я бы
banana
вот отсюда
flanking.
подключился, но там почему-то не
Working their way
слышно
back into this
голоса
Navi now.
комментаторов.
See Ancient
Ну,
up
на
next, picked
середине.
by Navi on a bit of a streak on
Подключимся.
that one, a hot streak, and Nuke is the third and deciding map if we do need to get there.
Тактическая
It's
пауза
a
от
very hot
кого?
map pool.
Героиков. 20 секунд.
Starting on Inferno as opposed to closing.
Yeah, well, let's see if this one has the same level of fireworks here. Definitely delivering in the early stages. And as I mentioned, it's more like chess right now, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely feeling each other out, trying to see who's a bit more tactical in their decision making, who can outmaneuver one another on the map. And Heroic are the ones who are starting to feel themselves and take that fight, but that's a conversation that needs to be had.
Чекайте, какие тактики у
Hopefully
Навей.
from that timeout, one that they did address. Again, into the standard spread from NAVI. Just going through their paces here. Early flashes to deny the aggressive AWP, to deny any space in Electronic. He's the man to test top mid.
Here's a very aggressive CT smoke you saw up mid there, but
Нам могут так играть.
Heroic not willing to buckle
Скачет
under the initial
качество.
pressure of NAVI.
И так качество не лучшего.
Don't have a whole lot of
У нас
information right now, Heroic.
стримчанский, а
Operating in the
еще
dark here.
у них скачет
Oh,
жестко как-то.
oh.
Нашивать чуть-чуть с мочину.
Electronic and Simple. Quite a pairing, and all in the open, in limbo. You can see the hesitance from both squads. More smokes arriving. Threatening on both facets. And this is the fight they've been waiting for. You can see just how much pandemonium is in the comms for the Danes. They're pulled by Electronic. This Puppet Master knocking the head off a Refresh. He will go down, but mission accomplished. Surging forward now, the Flames again arrive. Well timed.
3 here.
Oh, they're going to surely try and commit through. Perfecto into the hot box. Cadian knocks Perfecto out. Boom is trying his luck, but down up and over. Bit head on a swivel. He's got so many targets to clear and not enough time for it. Simple. What can you possibly do? Good God, that was a close one. But that'll be it. Can he die? Or maybe fight to survive? What was that flick? He's been watching some honesty. Did he die after time? No, just in time. 1 second on it.
Looked like the perfect setup right there to deal with that. They wanted to try and live for a bit of a mid to B. Right, they had 2 players top mid looking for the fight on that arch side.
Скачет что-то у нас количество зрителей, наверное.
Looking like they wanted to gear into the mid to B.
То 3, то 5, то 6,
то
0.
And Inferno is one of those maps where it's a little bit more difficult to do that if you're not just barreling down banana or going for more difficult to do that if you're not just barreling down banana or going for one of those aggressive plays down mid. But back in again, and this is an important round here. Heroic could seal up the half lead, get themselves 8 to their name. Cadian active again with that AWP, choosing a different port of call to find an opening pick, and again that same flash. So crossing the T's, dotting their I's. It's very diligent stuff from NAVI here to make sure they take this space. They're aware of these maneuvers. You see all the flashes mid, all the flashes in towards the out position. They don't want to allow Cadian to find a free opening pick. So they pushed him back. They've dealt with him early. And they've got the space that they're looking for here. But again, it's just this time. And NAVI going to try something a little bit more direct earlier within the piece here.
Wow, that is one way to hold the B site. Tessa's playing with fire, flash, and frag already found. One through the coffins, but evades that fate. It's Cadian ready for bit. A late adventure out of the boiler room. Cut short, and it's only electronic that gives us some hope. A glimmer of hope for NAVI in round 12. The outlook's bleak. The forecast is murky, especially now. Another one in the feed. Shush awakens from the pit. Impossible odds now. Loud Tessus in library. So light on time, a quick headshot, looking to string together the double. Not to be, and the half one out. I think that's an adequate response to the team giving you CT star.
Yeah, this is beautiful stuff here from Heroic. This is great work from them. You got Refresh at 13 kills, 9 for Cadian, 8 for Stown, 7 apiece for Shush and Tessus. So the team is all contributing here. Nobody is lacking behind for Heroic, and that's a key detail for this Danish squad on a stage like this against their boogeyman. NAVI have beaten them time and time again. It's just the most recent affair over at the RMRs where Heroic got the better of NAVI. That's the only time that the core of Heroic have been able to beat these monsters.
Присоединиться к GoTV. Будет слышно комментаторов или не будет? Это загадка. 3-й раз я пытаюсь уже. Комментаторов нет. Ну так, конечно, лучше будет. Оп-оп-оп. Нет, ничего не работает. Давайте за симплом последим. Симпл 8/9 идет. Можно посмотреть, сколько у него часов. А, количество часов скрытых. Что, будет ретейкать? Не, уже все без шансов, ему надо сейвить. Хотя... Пытается, похоже. У электроника, например, сколько часов? Электроник напишется из Казани, ребят. 6. Я тоже из Казани. Жестко. Я не знал, что это. Что я удивился, конечно. Перфект. Перфекта. Омск, Russian Federation. Ну, у всех скрыто количество часов. Бомыч. Вот у Бомыч 16к. Убита. Убита тоже скрыто. Хотя 13 тысяч. Решает банан, что ли, выходить? Бананыч. Почему про игроков скрытый профиля? Вот странно. Клир. Смена сторон. 9-6. Все счеты пока идут, нормальная тема. Шансы есть у Нави. Контроль камеры комментариев. Восемь на 11 сингл пока идет, что-то не тащит. Совсем не тащит. А сколько? 9-6 пока. А странно, вот у меня раньше счет отображается снизу. Отображался снизу реально. Понимают NAVI. Заход на Upland. Цвет интерфейса можно поменять. Вращает радар, размер радара. Шасси его прибавить. Пипец, смотри, мне радар прибавить. На пол экрана поставить. 9-7 пока в пользу героиков. Типа, когда я в катке, почему-то счет снизу отображается, а когда смотришь за кем-то, счет сверху. Я могу подвинуть донаты, конечно. Вот как-то вот так могу ее подвинуть. Куда ее деть-то? Ну, сюда можно поставить. Все, деньги закончились у героиков. Может радар уменьшить обратно, а? Может вообще его малюсеньким сделать. Ну не видно, конечно, когда он такого размера. Куда единичка стояла, да? Вроде как единичка. Демо Юи хотел я написать. А это, оказывается, не демка, это же прямой эфир. 20 зрителей. Вою симпла. Обидно. Знал, что так в руки можно поставить. Это как в КС 1. Это же пипец вообще. Неудобно. Увеличенный, вот, по-моему, лучше. Если у тебя плохое зрение. Просто в риск не поставил. Шиба. Ну, тотал стоит симпл. Хотя там никого нет в апсах. Они, получается, под Б уже собирают. Симпл, иди на Б. Послушай меня. Что ты тут чекаешь? Кто у нас принимает там Вент? Перфектыч. Где там его нажимает? Ну, у них, смотрите, у них пистолетики. У них вряд ли получится. 100%. 10-10. Пошли в ДС? Ну, можно в ДС, да. Может так полетать. Смотри, как я увеличил расположение рук. Шиба. Это нормально? Или этот сделать стандартно? Зато сейчас все видно, да? Если у тебя зрение плохое. Бумыч пушит банан. Бананыч. А может вот так поставить? Водовод. Позвонить тебе в ДС? Ну я даже не знаю. Понимаешь, я не знаю. Позвонить или не позвонить тебе? Ой, ой, перфекто сейчас будет человек. Симпла у нас убили, обидно. А у меня Дискорд запущен вообще? Дискорд. У тебя же вроде дядя, да? Дискорд. Ну, никнейм у тебя такой.
Да.
Шиба.
У меня вопрос.
Какой вопрос?
Типа, если у меня блокировка на соревновательном 23, ну, короче, 1 день, я смогу поиграть в Faceit?
Ну, я не знаю.
Я просто хотел сейчас в Faceit поиграть. Пробовать.
Ну, не получится, понимаешь?
Почему? Да. Да, вот 4 лайка. На, смотри. 4 лайка. Вот, смотри. Вот даже сбрал 4. Вот 4. Не надо мне... Вот 4. Загрузить страницу. Не. Да. Да, вижу. Все уже кинул. Я такой шанс было. Я играл? Да ну не надо играть. Ну, кстати, он очень хорошо с АВП играет. Пиксель маленький не сможет. Блин. Пока. Блин, конечно, с такой раскладкой рук вообще неудобно, я думаю. Ну как-то слишком большое, по-моему. Не, даже у нас на соревнованиях, соревновательных режимов еще интереснее, знаешь. Я сейчас играл вот с этим стилем. Ну, это не реклама. Сразу говорю. Короче. Там чел, тоже там в Дискорде сидел.
Сейвит, короче, ребята.
Я случайно по нему попадаю Зевсом. У него со 100 хп остается 12. На следующем раунде он меня убил. Я даю ему Зевса в голову и сразу же получаю бан на вот 20. знаю, я случайно, а он специально.
Ну, что-то ты, да. Зачем так поступил? Непонятно.
Да там все угарно. Мы там в Дискорде есть. Могу тебе добавить, там все угар было. Не построено, сразу скажу.
Чуть меня продал символ авика. Сейчас, наверное, самопой будет разносить. Не повезло ему. Чилы развернулись просто, да. На него не вышли, так бы. Один проиграл. Сейчас он встал, они все на бой побежали. Как СЛХ как будто играет.
Слушай, ну так нормально уже хпшка-то снесли. У террористов уже два человека в проигрыше, а у...
У нас потери, да. О, Симпл сейчас будет. А, на него выходит. Он промахивается. Я думал, он профессионал.
А ну под флешкой какое там, ну конечно под флешкой. О, какие тайминги он ловит. Ему очень жестко повезло по таймингу.
А ты стрим-то выключи.
А, ой.
Ты тоже стример, что ли?
Нет. Если бы стримил, то может быть мы и не увиделись бы.
Почему?
Я бы не заходил на аккаунты никакие.
Спасибо.
А так не Ну если я бы стримил, то я бы не заходил ни какие аккаунты, потому что я занимался бы своим стримингом.
Ну я вот занимаюсь и своим, и других тоже смотрю.
Если только потренироваться.
Я вот и сам стримлю, и бывает других смотрю.
Как сейчас, да?
Ну я часто других смотрю. Ты видел такие скины раньше? Какие у них ножики?
Я,
Нож,
кстати,
бабочка,
ой,
гамма-волны.
Нет, ну короче, да, я видел. Тут чел же, ну этот стример, он же играет, типа, с этим еще. Ой, простите. Короче, у него такой жесткий чел попался. Он играет с 2021 года. Он купил хищную воду, у него есть нож коготь, короче, стартреков полно, АВП аркада, по-моему, тоже стартрек. Короче, жестко.
Ты видишь, как он в целом выглядит? Такое все большое.
Да, большое. Блин, я с таким бы прицелом тащил. Чем
Ну
проиграл?
скопируй у него прицел.
Как?
Ну я могу его скопировать, а потом ты у меня скопируешь. А как тут, где кнопочка скопировать прицел? Обычно она бывает. Это надо у них гадко играть. Не получится скопировать.
Это да, играть. А нажми на тап.
Вот нажал.
Зажми на тап, зажми тап. И заходи на симпла.
Вот зашел.
Не именно на него, а, да. Здесь нужно брать этого. Да.
Тут нет такого. Скопировать нет.
Алло, ну слушай, извини, но... Слышишь? Я спать, сори, пока.
Спать? Ну давай пока тогда.
Надо было немножко раньше. Давай, удачи.
Ага, тебе тоже. Потеряли мы дядю, хороший был человек. Шиба. Что-то разносит Нави, обидно. Как так-то? Симпл с АВП не разнес. У них опять денег нет, что ли? 4К. Надо, наверное, закупаться уже. Пока. Шиба. Шиба 2. Зачем я в Дискорд заходил? сейчас надо собраться, вообще не раунда нежелательно отдавать. Байтерство пока.
Это Рамирес. Это человека, который я учил играть в Агенте.
Привет.
Привет. Представляю тебе Химика и Смарта, это мои тиммейты, лучшие. Я о них тебе рассказывал.
Момент, когда Рамирес мне оставил коммент, как бы, если чё.
Да, ты создатель карты или что там? Да? Там такое что-то было же?
Я не помню уже.
Рамирес, ты вон Химику оставил даже коммент, оказывается.
Когда?
Не знаю, когда-то очень
Не
давно.
знаю, да. Пацаны, я вчера посмотрел. Он как будто вчера это читер был.
Да он вообще пидорас какой-то, нахуй. Меня ловил, блядь. Че, и Миша зашел, ну-ка, Миша не может прийти.
Ладно, я пошел.
Ты не
Давай,
пойдешь?
давай.
Что, Нави проиграет, что ли? Электроник 1-1 остался с Кэдионом. 15-10. Ну, деньги есть много, конечно. А как, кстати, смотреть за траекторией гранат? Я как-то нечаянно нажал, можно смотреть, как граната летит. Вон челы бегают. А как стирать? А, пробел. Что можно писать? Рэми. Эй. Не вмещается. Yes. Go. И. Ой-ой-ой. Ну, Нави, похоже, проиграли этот матч. Обидно, конечно, жестко обидно. Вряд ли они выиграют. Электроника 1 остается. ГГ. На первом месте у нас электроник за Нави, за героиков Кэдиан. Симпл не отыграл, да? Будут еще играть или не будут? Это мне интересно.
despite the reception of the crowd coming into things for Heroic, they are not scared up there on that big stage.
No, they're not. And they've done exactly what they did in the studio environment during the RMR, but here on the big stage. And I think that has to be the topic of this conversation. Look at the past few clutches we've had to decide this game. It's Tez's 1v2. It's Cadian 1v2 as well. What the hell is happening? How is Perfecto offering his life? The perfect man, I describe him as the perfect clutch player, and then he just offers his life to Cadian? I don't even know what to say.
On the flip side, I mean, Heroic played fantastic Counter-Strike. That's Counter-Strike that gets me excited for this team because it is what we were seeing for so long online. We were wondering, are they going to be able to bring it to the big stage against a top team? And they did it right there. That is some excellent stuff. I can't believe Cadian held his nerve. Tess has held their nerve. These are guys that in the past people would have labeled as LAN chokers. But whatever those sports psychologists are doing, whatever the team managers are doing, everything that's going into this team right now, it is showing because Heroic are showing a new face. And if this is what we could expect from them, I'm worried for NAVI.
Oh, dude, I'm worried too. I mean, you can just look at the kill distribution on the side of Heroic. A couple of names that we had mentioned in the pre-show. Refresh to start with. A man we pinned as being problematic during the Legend stage. Very low numbers. Showed up in spades at the beginning of this game. Had a huge start. Put Heroic in the right position. Cadian as well on the top of the chart. A man that put it as his goal to perform better on LAN, to showcase that he could do it on the stage, and he's just done that.
Yeah, he literally said that was one of the win conditions for the team going forward, was for himself to be showing up as well. And I love, yeah, you point out just the kill distribution across the board here. Everybody was having those moments to really be showing up. And man, Refresh as well, we have to give him some props for really showing up after a tough Legend stage.
Great job from him. But the thing that jumped out for me on the scoreboard the most, Cadian outplayed Simple. The Battle of Oppers was won by the guy that many would have said was one of, not the weakest, but one of the weaker Oppers going into this playoffs. The fact is that Cadian controlled his nerves, hit some incredibly tough shots, and when Simple or anybody from NAVI decided to challenge him, he played to punish. That is impressive stuff because we've seen him miss tripwire shots in big moments before. This time, he held his nerve to a degree I haven't seen from him yet.
Yeah, because he's got such an energetic playstyle, right? You can just see the way he plays the clutch, that 1 versus 2 against Electronic and Perfecto, how he's moving around, he's taking risks. For the longest time, when we got to LAN, when we got to the high-pressure environment, he was taking the same risk, but he wasn't having the same success. So it looked a little bit foolish at time. Very flashy, quite missy. But when suddenly he holds his nerves, you're talking about, when he actually hit the shots, that is almost close to perfection.
I know we're going to talk a lot about the T side for Heroic coming into this one, but I do want to begin with that first one, with that CT side, because there was some great looks from Heroic in a particular round that you had putting under the spotlight, Maniac, in terms of that mobility and that flexibility of those rotations.
That's the key word, mobility. It is the key word when you talk about Heroic, when you're trying to explain to the people what makes their strength. On the CT side, round 11 is a good example. It's typically Cadian moving around the map, playing off of timing, and I think that has to be the key point, the timings, right? We'll see here, it's a huge stack towards long. We have 3 CTs together pinned, being ready to trade onto Electronic, but as soon as they realize they've cleared middle, they rush towards the CT side. And the good utility from Cadian as well allowed his teammates to be right there with them when he needs. Hits the shot, of course, but that's already done. It's already done. They've had time to boost the CT. They have another one hiding towards triple, and just the defense is in position. This was Heroic doing what they do well, dictating the pace, choosing when to fight, when to rotate, and always on time.
I love that Cadian uses his smoke. There's 30 seconds left, drops it between Nubox, between Emo. I thought maybe in that moment, use it towards Banana, but instead he just plays back in the site. And yeah, he stays alive, plays to his strengths, and makes sure that he is a force that he has to be dislodged by NAVI. They weren't able to do it until it was too late.
And then we come on to the T side of things for Heroic. There's one particular round I want to be putting under the spotlight here. Round 23 for Tezas. Hits an absolutely nutty clutch hit. I mean, we were jumping up in the room. We could not believe he
Look, famously, if you know Counter-Strike, if you know NAVI, this is the round that they would win on LAN. Low economy, low buy, about to be kicked out of the game, and then they would do it. It looked like this was going to happen. They had all the first kills, but then Cadian with the perfect positioning again, punishing here, and this is towards the very end. A man that we have put a lot of pressure on. Beautiful shot onto Electronic, and you will just see the skill that we mentioned. That 180 is so nasty. That is so nasty.
And it's pinpoint accuracy coming out from Testis under that much pressure. It's so impressive. This is what's been missing from Heroic. The fact that they were able to bring back that 3v5, they've been so poor in mid-rounds. We saw the 4v5 25 stats before this series started. It's been abysmal for them, but now they're showing this side of them that harkens back to how good they were 5-6 months ago, what we saw from them online, and they're doing it at LAN.
And it's a player that you really want to be seeing stepping up as well. The fact that Tezza's coming in really hot to the legend stage, saw him kind of peter up, not showing that consistent form. I love that he gets to stand up in front of a stage, one of his first playoff stages, obviously only his second time being here. Yeah, and really show the crowd what he's made of.
It's a great example. It's a great example to set for Tezza, and I guarantee you, we played this round 6 months ago, Navi win it. That's not even a question. Definitely Navi win it. Suddenly they reverse the economy, they get that win, they have the momentum, and you're looking at a whole different game. All these key moments, and I'm sure we'll touch on a couple of few rounds, all these key moments where things could have gone so south for Heroic, when they could have just let the game go out of their grasp, suddenly they actually back their aim. They actually held their nerves.
Yes.
They had the clutches that you would famously lose against Navi, and you would let them come back into the game.
Yeah, this is a great look for Heroic. There's still a lot of work to be done, though. I mean, the series isn't over yet.
Ну все, больше Нави не будут сегодня играть? Сколько там матчей-то
in the series, you start to make more mistakes, you
сегодня?
start to take a few more risks,
Сколько
you
я
try
не
to
вижу.
win it all in one round, and that's when things begin to fall apart for them. So I'm not counting Navi out of the series just yet by any means.
Yeah, of course, we are going to continue to talk about the subsequent maps coming up, maybe map number 3, even if we do need it. But I do want to continue with the clutch factor, because we do have to put Cadian's impressive clutch under the microscope as well. Maui, the repositioning from him, you were like, this is actually a winnable round for Cadian.
As soon as we see that Perfecto was moving through Library, Cadian caught him off. It almost felt like that was a careless mistake from Perfecto, but it's actually all just because Cadian moved off of the bomb site, plants the bomb in the corner, moves back, and then Electronic, he holds his nerve. He's on top of that box right there, actually finds almost the perfect time to swing into Cadian, but Cadian hits that flick right up.
Look, the flick is beautiful, and I'm not going to fault Electronic for that, but there still must be a communication channel in place between Electronic and Perfecto so that that death doesn't happen. It cannot happen at the time in a 2v1 where Electronic can say where the bomb plan is happening. There's a smoke on site. It's clear where it's happening. He has to let Perfecto know that there is a world in which he escapes backwards and he doesn't see him. Perfecto cannot just walk into the unknown and basically give the 1v1 to Cadian like that. To me, that's a gross mistake.
Well, we're going to be seeing exactly how it will go down as Navi's pick coming into this series is up next. It's going to be Ancient, and we're going to see if they can bounce back after this.
Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality, where a group of letters can mean everything. Where Mirage is a place for bombs, battles, and glory, not an illusion. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
The wait is finally over. Time for you to grab your tickets and watch greatness unfold at the PGL Arlington Major.
NAVI flips the historical script as they now bring Ancient into the pool in this quarter-final. Heroic obviously 1-0 up after Estella looking Inferno, which we just have to reiterate, Maniac, the pressure that was coming on into, I mean, for both teams' shoulders coming into this, but particularly Heroic, you know, didn't have that stellar showing back in Stockholm at the last major. To be able to take a map in that fashion, that is looking good for them.
That's the beginning of a great story, if you're Heroic, of course. Now, just for NAVI to touch on quickly, we have to realize what's at stake for them, right? The fact that they had this period of time where they dominated the whole world of Counter-Strike. No one could ever debate them. No one could discuss them, winning the major in that beautiful fashion. And then, of course, beginning of 2022, for reasons that we can understand, falling a little bit off, not showing their best Counter-Strike. But can you imagine how grand it would be for NAVI to actually being able to, against all adversity, come here and lift that trophy that we are seeing right here? It would put them in such a level, such a category that I cannot even imagine or begin to describe. So there's a lot at stake for NAVI, but these guys, they're not ready to give up.
They want to reboot the era discussion. They want to take it away from FaZe. Yeah. That's what's at stake here. The fact is that FaZe coming into this, they were the favorites, but once we saw the form from NAVI in the Legend stage, we all became believers once again. And it was how soon did we forget how great and grand this team could be once the pieces started firing together. Feels like the game plans have been there for NAVI, but they're a map away from elimination.
But that's something coming into this, you know, particularly on Ancient, a great win record currently for NAVI. And the fact that they're on the stages, we know they can overcome those demons, particularly on LAN as well. And they're going to be starting on the T side of Ancient, where you're pretty impressed with what you've seen of NAVI thus far, Maui.
I do like Navi's T side on this map. It doesn't have the most sexy win rate. It's a sub 50% in terms of what they're producing on the T side, but it's darn near close to 50%, around 45 in that sort of range. And that is where things get interesting, because most teams, it's like 30%,
I know.
35%. That's still actually a world-class T side, and it's based off of the fact that when they get the bomb down, they are incredibly proactive in post plans. They're one of the first teams in the Ancient meta that realize once you plant that bomb, you need to take something away from the CTs. So expect when that bomb's planted, they're going to dive deep into CT spawn, no matter what bomb site they're going into.
And they better be ready for it, because you talk about the win streak, we talk about the percentages for NAVI. Of course, they've won 10 Ancients in a row. They haven't lost it September last year. But it's been a minute since we saw them pick into Ancient, taking that risk. Famously, they would allow people to pick it against them and punish off the back of a very strong CT side. Now, the pieces are in the other way around now. They're starting on the T side, they're one map down. And I feel like there are a couple of characters in that NAVI team that we haven't mentioned too much after map one bit. The best player of the Legend stage was average at best in this first map, and it's undebatable it's going to have to show up. Simple was normal, if you will allow me to use that term, for the greatest of all time. Still normal. Perfecto missed out. Where are all these players? NAVI need all these pieces if they want to push it to map number 3.
They've gone missing. And on the flip side for Heroic, we have a Cadian that we haven't really seen on LAN. And that's where this gets so frightening for all the NAVI fans in the audience there. The fact is that the guy that they were all booing is showing up in the server today. Yeah.
Loves it.
He loves to be the villain.
That's something that we've always heard from him as well. If anybody gives him banter, or anybody gives him a little bit of smack talk, he uses that for energy, to ignite that fire inside of him. And I love that we got to see that in so many incredible moments. A beautiful clutch coming out of him as well to almost be sealing up the map. That's what I like to see from Cadian. Even if you're not so much of a fan from inside the arena.
It's a trait of character, honestly, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if you play off the crowd and suddenly you fail, everyone will come and get you. Everyone will come and get you. If you act all smug and then you lose and you look like shit, then no one is going to let you go. But what if you clutch like this? Then you can actually dance behind your computer and have a good time. Hell yeah. If you talk the talk, then you have to walk the walk. He's done it on Inferno. And then he earned that right to act all smug, but it's just one step away. There's another map to be won.
There is another map to be won, and we can dive headfirst right into it. Alex and Chad, how are you feeling about heading into Ancient for this one?
Thank you, Freya. I don't have an answer. Hopefully you do. How are we feeling?
Not so smug. Not as smug as Cadian is right now. I think this is insane for Heroic, right? This is their hardest test first, right? Insane for Heroic, right? This is their hardest test first, right? The fact that we get to see them going up against NAVI in the quarterfinal, if they vanquish this beast right now, it marks a new era for this Heroic roster. There's questions marks about them on the stage, what type of Counter-Strike they play, question marks about Cadian and Refresh performing in big games. This will change all of that. The final test for Heroic now is Ancient. And we're about to get underway with NAVI, fighting for survival here. The defending major champions on the attack again to start off map number 2. U2 out towards top mid as they seem to follow that through. A little bit more deployed from Electronic here as they set their sights and attention over towards the first letter of the alphabet.
Highest rated pistol player out of everyone is Bit. Refresh. Had a taste of redemption map 1. Can he keep it up? He's got a chance and lets it slip away. Church Blind executed, and it's only Stan with a little bit of a duel to be had. Tessus lingers close behind enemy lines, would love to finish his meal. Boomich remains evasive, remains a problem. And they're looking for a spotless pistol here. Look how wounded they are. Finally, they bring down just one, and it's a consolation prize. It's the tattered teddy bear at the back of the shelf. And an A-take to start. Another Na'Vi pistol. That's 3
from 3. 3 from 3 and pistol rounds here. It didn't help him last time round, but Cadian picking up where he left off. A couple of nice kills right there. That extra cash is going to feel nice.
Oh, he's on one, isn't he? He's on one today.
Yeah, well, I think it's despite the crowd right here because he's definitely not the fan favorite by any means. Going to see if they can turn up the heat again. We saw the force fight out of them over on Inferno. Let's see if we see the same here.
But yeah, these are the kind of shots, just like Refresh with his 4K spray down, it just reminds you of who you are and what you are capable of in the server. Yes, there is a mammoth task ahead of you. Ouch. That one will leave a mark. And there's more. There's more where that came from. The snapping turtle equipped. Refresh brings it down and immediately meets his demise. Perfecto upgrades Tessus. No stranger to a duel, will have to get out of there, but shows face, just glancing down the lane as he looks to drive home the pain. It's a shot, it hits. Simple's just way more precise. Head rolls, as will the eyes of Heroic. Dicing with death on the AD, jiggles. Tessus knows there's a duel imminent.
Feels like we're picking up where we left off with these T-halves, just waiting for mistakes from the CT side, the overcommits, the aggressive maneuvers.
He's only got 4 bullets in that.
That's all he needs.
Okay.
No head armor on the other side, still ripped through that Kevlar, no dramas as you like here as bomb to be scooped up, Pack. Peering over towards this B side, and this is the fight they need to get past here. If Simple cracks the head of Tessus, then they're on their way in. Here in the utility.
Just a pistol, and that's exactly what Simple makes it look like. One last hope, one slight glimmer at the end of a murky tunnel. It would be that investment out of Stan.
Yeah, cave smoke, deep smoke as well. Bomb will go down, but here's the deal. Over there on Inferno, they had a round like this where they held the Famous, they held a Scout, and they actually won the follow-up round when they shouldn't have. So let's see, do Heroic want to linger around for a kill or 2 extra, or do they just want to save their goodies, take them home, and pack them up for another round? Stan with a shot or 2 is going to give over that position. And now on the hunt is Boomich. wants to fight and can't convert onto Stown here, trying to stay alive, 4 points of health, but the fight is coming. Bit will finish him off and they won't get to hold on to their goodies. So a big difference from the last time rounds is Heroic not holding on to that rifle to ply its trade into the following. Seems unlikely Heroic will be able to convert the next round of play. Cadian still wants to hold on to this and should be far enough away at this point. So a clean start from Navi again, the pistol with the conversion. That's par for the course, right? We've been here before.
Yeah. Beautiful. I wonder how familiar it has been for Navi plugging in the mouse and keyboard. Our reigning champions. The PGL Stockholm Major 2021. Feels like yesterday.
Yeah, this one's come quick. I'm sure Navi would love to add another major trophy to that cabinet. The second for Simple, second for all of them. Top mid smoke, Infinity Molly in play, and more diligent utility as they just clear out close mid. Not going to take any chances right here as Simple trying to get into the action. We know the chips are down, one man steps up, one man gets stuck in. Space taken across the map for Navi. They're working with a lot of room here, mid-control, B lane, even a little bit of a linger in towards Cave, so no dramas for them in the early stages of this round. It's just about working out, is there a stack from Heroic? Do we have to deal with these pistols packed together?
Love that smoke out of Boomage.
They just have to rumble this hold right here. Shouldn't be too many problems.
Yeah, he gets his speckles up. I don't think he's too interested in committing to that alone.
Well, now that's their coffin, isn't it? You can see them taking this space on towards A. The rifles, once you get over in towards that side, over towards platform, don't worry about it. They're flashing through, they're trying to take the fight, but Navi don't want to put themselves in the open. More smoke stifling this, and Electronic in the back will take out Katie and starting to deal with his eco now as another kill to come through, and problem solved for Navi here.
To the full clean sweep. 5 hearts still beaten, 5 weapons they don't need to buy.
They couldn't have a better opportunity right now going into the first gun round. It's not like there's SMGs, it's a FAMAS and a Galil, sure, but you can operate with those up against the buy for Heroic now, and Cadian, no doubt about it, had his absolute best map of the tournament so far on Inferno. If he can keep that up, if he can be dynamic with the AWP right here on the CT side of a map like Ancient, he can be the difference maker for his team. And into the buys. Electronic can be huge running out mid.
He's going for a bit of a biff.
There it is.
Ballsy out of Shush. And Electronic puts him in his place. But where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Electronic ignites onto the double. Boomage is gone as well. He takes one from the grave, though. Stown licked on down. Tessus makes a round out of this still.
Oh.
Cadian's found another.
2 on 2.
That was supposed to be a Navi collection, and still 90 seconds. We're thrown into a 2v2 mid-round.
Yeah, some big questions to ask here. There was aggression mid, that was about it in terms of the space that Navi have. Heroic do not know, but in these situations, the gamble's great.
Whoa.
Tessus the pick top mid, Electronics down. Bit in a 1v2 situation.
How does this go so wrong so fast?
Это что сейчас было? Что это за баги? Жесткие баги КС, вы что? Верните мне матч.
Pick up around in similar fashion in that first half. They won a 3v5, right? They had that Tessus clutch as well, but that wasn't on the CT side.
But look, undaunted after losing.
Может, я не буду ничего комментить. Чисто сижу, смотрю. PG.
Oh, and around the smoke, Stown heating up as well. He brings the fight to them. Cadian with a bit of an open window on stage. Getting windy. Boomage decided he might try and take this B side. His refresh at least goes one and done. A competitive round still, and it looks like it may slow down in pace. The map is your oyster.
Plenty of time again, so a different pace about this one. The gun rounds over there on Inferno, they were slow, they were feeling each other out. This time they're taking the fights, they're getting stuck in. And this puts Navi in a 2-on-3 situation right here. Shush only operating with a Deagle right now. Would love to get something a bit bigger in his hands, but those options are few and far between with where he currently resides, trying to thread the needle. Bit and Boomich. They have found the gap, but can be responded to quite quickly. Kits in play, smoke as well. The post-plant situation for Navi here is going to be absolutely everything.
Yeah, Boomich seems switched on to the potential for an A-Hall's linger. No one home. Still Shush. Oh, finding a weapon. So it favors Heroic on a site that's certainly not too difficult to find a way in. But that's when Boomich and Bit aren't in the server. Oh, snappy out of Shush. And Bit demanded to clutch. Heroic process of elimination will soon dictate as to where he resides. Misses his first chance, dies on that as he fully unloads his mag. They will try and close the gap. 5-second defuse, and he's been held at bay. Just in the nick of time, Heroic prevail.
They're looking really calm and collected here, Heroic. This isn't the same team who are constantly pushing, taking fights, hoping info works out there. Once they get themselves in an established position, they're sitting back. So that's 2 rounds, 2 tidy rounds in a row, a 2-on-4, and then closing down a 3-on-2 advantage situation. They have massive gun rounds for Heroic to win early here. Navi get the plant, they keep their cash in a position where they can consider a purchase, and well, yeah, it is Navi. They are going to follow through in that promise. But they're just not ready for some of these aggressive maneuvers of Heroic there. The aggro mid push, they're playing around the smokes over towards B. The door smoke lands as we get into round number 6 here.
I still can't believe they lost the double electronic mid-frag. Thanks to Tessus.
Yeah, you're not going to get that every day of the week. And look at this.
Oh, wow, Heroic really are geeking it out. They're playing to the optimal potential this roster has, and with such a big opponent in front of them.
Look at the cluster they have in this position. Electronic thrown away, needs to get away with his life, and he does. Electronic in mid has been perfect, and now they're into B.
Yeah, Tessus has let him in, calling for Stown, but he's staring at smokes. They have the space. Can they win this race? They have that advantage. It gets bigger thanks to Boomich. Another body added to the list, and the rest condemned to save. Now that is a spotless T round.
You have to thank Electronic here, right? He was great for them over there on Inferno as well. Remember some of those T rounds where he'd get opening kills walking into A, this time in mid. And speaking of Electronic, here he is again. Another one hits the deck. Just down, stands in towards mid. The fight is coming on all fronts. Perfecto with the Tech 9 is going to blow him away. Beautiful stuff for Navi to bounce back. This is the T side right here of Ancient. They're up to 4, and this is early stages. The money for Heroic now in question. So staying stubborn on the buys, Navi will break through.
Some Anubis fans in the crowd.
This is the thing, the desk we're talking about Bit being relatively quiet there on map 1 of Inferno, but if Electronic can step up and fill the gap that he's no longer providing, might be all they need. Class act is Electronic, his Bit is going to take a bit of space here.
I mean, do you really think that that Inferno loss has the capacity to get under Navi's skin?
I think it'd be 1 map down, and ooh, know that you need a battle forward. Boomich blind gets 1. TK as well, problems for Heroic. They're going to mop this one up. It is just refresh, but yeah, look, this is the thing, to be 1 map down and know that you have to be flawless on the next 2. That's a problem. It's a pressure situation. It's do or die, and it's Heroic, right? Everybody seems to have a bit of a problem with Heroic, or more so Cadian, so that's always going to get to them. The way that they lost those clutches as well, the Tassus clutch that they lost, the Cadian clutch, they all add up. Yeah. If you continue to lose those type of tilt rounds, this is the new Navi, but it's Navi, still susceptible to a little bit of tilt every now and again.
Yeah, some people on the internet can't seem to believe it, but they are human beings.
Yeah, that's wild, right? As, we all feel a little bit of that. Simple having a conversation is going to get the last kill, and oh, picks up that AWP to carry on through to the next round of play. So perfect for Navi now. This is fantastic. Now you have to remember, the core of Heroic have gone up against the core of Navi 9 times. They've only bested them once.
Oh.
The most recent battle they had over there at the RMRs, where the pressure was not at an all-time high like this. Not an elimination game, just an opportunity to get through 3-0 and lock yourself in for the Legend stage.
Right.
Yeah, just a little...
Just business,
yeah,
just business.
Exactly. So for Navi in this situation, they know that they have that edge. For Heroic, this is a massive test. Map 1 is great, but to now follow through on Ancient and then Nuke, this could be the turning point for this team. This would be a new opportunity to show the leash of life that is available for this Heroic roster. They were primed coming into this. The roster's been together for a long time. They have a deep playbook. It's just about this experience, and it's about putting it in the right place.
Say what you want, it is admirable. Forged in the pits of adversity, heroics stepping up. One to the good. NAVI required to be perfect in the reverse sweep to secure that semi-final.
They had to extinguish their own molly right there, NAVI. A bit of a flood running through the doors. So some errors here as far as utility goes, but Boomic wants this space. He is going to get it. He has backup as well here.
That's early from Stown. Leaping at the opportunity as Boomic gets across, however, announcing his presence, which may activate some of these taps. Threads the needle.
Got to be careful about walking into these spams. There's paper thin right in there.
Diligent is perfecto. You could hear a pin drop here on Ancient. It's the Crickets. Most noise. That's a huge flash. Great reactions, though. Perfecto keeps himself alive, preserves the 5-on-5. Activating his bit. Look, he's going through electronic and bit. Up to no good.
It's a lot of space. Time's going to become the bigger issue here for NAVI, but they have the rotations of the map under their control.
Oh, opportunity. A quick jiggle, a slither of CT. Stown maintains his control, but look at this pair.
We're sub 30 seconds here.
It's rare to see such a immaculate execution of the flank, and he lets it slip. Cadian knows now. Cadian hitting 2. And now to try and stop the plan is Stown. 10 seconds if he hits this wallbang. Boomic is foiled. A second too late. Bit handed a 1v3. Asked to come up clutch again, shying the first opportunity here on Ancient. Heroic are searching for him, and they have combed the area successfully. Gap will close, a 2-round deficit.
That's remarkable right there. I'm just bigging up Electronic, saying how good he is in big games. The fact that he gets the flank off and flubs the line, giving him something to remember.
That was a 30-bullet spray down.
Yeah, well, bullets in the body here. The mental warfare continues. But that is a round that should have been Navi's. Cadian hits 2 massive shots. We were focused on the flank right there, but they had to run up long. So this is the kills from Cadian to deny. There's 17 seconds as the first kill gets made, and the flick on back, Cadian is playing some good Counter-Strike here. And you're right, a 2-round gap, but Navi can buy again. They can break Heroic. They can put them back into the washing machine of these CT buys. Eco buy. Nobody wants to be in that realm.
Yeah, and it rides on this. You can see there's a clear game plan outlined from the spawn. Boomic has given his marching orders. Cadian staying dynamic. It's what you'd want from your CT side AWP. He's calling his troops as well to assist in surveying the perimeter. And that you can see in the hands of Perfecto is designed with Tessus's name engraved on the side of it. He is blind, but what a shot onto Cadian. That was an AWP. And Boomic makes him look silly. Mid is held, courtesy of Refresh. One of the hardest and most demanding roles is this of Stown, holds cave firm. And Navi, the clock hasn't been with their ally at all times on this T side, and Bit loses everything on his first poke, his first prod.
It's still on Shushi, the rotation's far away. Shushi needs to lock this one down.
They've got nothing left, Chad. Absolutely nothing. 24 points of health. And a dream. Oh, even less. Even less, a bit more shrapnel, but still their hearts beat. There's a tendency to overthink in these rounds. Crowd trying to will them across the line. It's simple. Takes the first step in that direction. Damage. Sprays that down. It's so low. And they find the bomb, I think, just in time. Just in time. Heroic recover it.
This is the thing with Heroic right now. They're not looking flustered at all, right? They're staying very, very calm in these situations. They're not rushing the retake. They're not just running in without clearing their corners. They're doing it as a unit. They're doing it as a team. I would suspect the comms right now for Heroic are an all-time high, right? They're staying very clean about these situations. And that started with the opening over towards B. It felt like a lifetime ago because the round was drawn out, but they had fantastic B lane retake utility. They mollied over the top towards the pocket position. The flash was great onto Tessus, and the shot onto Cadian was even better. But Stown getting one back on Boomich, having lane control means they can start to rotate on over a little bit quicker. They even drop back towards the site. It was Shush getting the kill onto Bit. That's a one-on-one. Bit did not wait for the rest of his team to get there to trade. Fortunately, they get in and they're able to take him down. They get the bomb down. It keeps them in a position where a little bit of cash comes in through for NAVI and the buy. But Heroic, they did a good job of dealing with this because those multiple fronts they had to deal with. An individual stepped up. Refresh here. The X factor for the team with 3 massive kills. Secures the 4th and makes it a one-round game. NAVI, they don't want to let this one get too far away. They understand the finances on the other side. They can stay threatening. They can keep the foot on the throat right here. 5 rounds in the T-half is great already. Anything that they can add on top is going to be fantastic. And if they win a round like this, they can get maybe 2, maybe 3 rounds out of it.
A lot to hinge on this round right here.
Sound.
Simple. Bringing it to him. And down he goes. Down. Shuts down the star of the show. Early doors. Refresh happy to play passive now because Stown has taken matters into his own hands. Takes down another member of NAVI, another luxury. You can pull all your resources back. Lock the doors.
We saw NAVI win a 3-on-5 over there on Inferno, but this is going to be even more difficult to do. The T side here of Ancient, notoriously difficult. Tessus with information, that's the name of the game in scenarios like this. Play for info, play the crossfires, play with your teammates, fortifying this defense right now and dropping a smoke to block them on out. 50 seconds remain on the clock. NAVI can buy their time. There is no rush about this, but do they want to give this one a crack or do they want to hold on to what they have? They're still in a forward position.
There is enough utility to make a substantial attempt. And making no secret of their arrival. Nades in, steps 2. Blind and swinging. Great opener out of Boomich. And they're staring at smokes. They might get away with this. Tessa has shut down Boomich. Favors Heroic so heavily. Bit trying to hit some headies. Would need way more than where that came from. Being played with, toyed with by Tessus. Running out of chance. Oh! Still flicked in. No bullets. The 180 for survival. Hoping and praying Tessus gets nervous, but there you have it. Heroic. They weather the storm.
Yeah, really just playing with Bit there. The jiggles making it impossible for him to hit that headshot that he's known for. Makes it interesting. The bomb goes down again. NAVI continue to be threatening here, but Heroic are dealing with it. They time things up 5-5. But virtue of these plans, NAVI can stay threatening throughout. I think the Vitality cheering squad's running out of energy here, Alex. You know, it's been 2 days, a lot of cheering.
Did you not hear them?
They weren't cheering just there, were they?
Well, we had the full ridiculous cacophony of NAVI during that round. They definitely have stepped it up. And looking to do the same was Refresh, because he just flirted with the idea of bringing some early presence up lane.
Well, it's the same game here from NAVI. They want this aggression to come on through so they can retake the territory and isolate some of these Heroic defenders. But it's not the biff early, right? It's not Electronic running out mid anymore. It's not the space that they'd worked with before. As another smoke lines up, Electronic is going to deny that vision. But look at this stack that's set up. They have all the vision they require, and even a missed smoke. Molly lands, but there's no threat behind it. The flash is good, but look at this. Heroic aren't backing down. They're not giving this territory over. Utility's not enough to push them back as Electronic gifted a bit more utility here to throw it out. Bit needs to get something done on his adventure as they try and force some rotations.
It does look like something's being bought here. Stown has got a lot resting on his shoulders and his life here. Round 11. Refresh has a wish, and it's been shortened by Electronic.
He's been great in middle. Another kill for him. Given the number advantage across here, but NAVI, they're not committing to anything just yet. They play with these rotations. Heroic have been back and forth. They can regroup the forces here and execute onto a site. Trade out efficiently. It is going to be Shush to deal with this.
NAVI have gotten into the site 3 rounds in a row. Lost it though.
Just Shush here.
Yeah, he's got so much to deal with. Snapped by Bit. a neck breaker onto the Dane, and that is enough to bring that round through.
But this is the thing, right? With 5 rounds as your base already, and the fact that they keep planting, that is a key. That is a key, but it's difficult for Heroic to stop them. It's difficult for them to stop them getting the bomb down. And in this situation, NAVI continue to be a bit of a threat. They continue to post rounds, and 6 is perfect here, but if they can rip all these guns away, the Tech 9 of Boomich, it's found one. Stound now on notice in towards Cave, and he can call across the rest of his troops here. If Boomich wants the boys to rip away the guns, they have plenty of time to do so. Bomb halfway gone, and I think he just wants to pick up a rifle of his own, so thinking better of a hunt in this situation is Boomich. Letting Heroic hold on to these rifles.
There's few that do it quite as consistently as Electronic in middle. It's a role often assigned to someone, a safe pair of hands, and I think he is the embodiment of it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is not playing out at the traditional pace that I think a lot of people are used to with Ancient.
Yeah.
Right? It can be slow at times, but most people would have the conversation this is a heavily CT biased map. Right, Navi taking the pace out, allowing the aggressive utility of Heroic to be dumped towards middle and B lane, and that doesn't leave them a whole lot for the mid to late rounds. And especially with the economy game that's being played right here. Heroic, if they went for a round like that, they lost everything. Their loss bonus is pretty low, right? It was 1,400 coming into this round, 1,900 into the next. So they're not in a great place, and you can see that reflected in the buy now. Navi are doing a fantastic job here, and every round that gets posted, Heroic might be feeling like they're struggling, but this is aggressive, this is a change. Again, they want this control.
Navi happy to let you have it initially. But 6 already affixed to their name. Pressure applied in droves from this T side, and they still haven't had any friction.
Too many positions for Shush to worry about their ledge. Boomich could always swing on out. The push through mid is possible too, and control will be taken. This is where we might need a Heroic classic, right? Something a little bit outside of the box, something as a unit, something a bit more risky. Because Navi are currently out positioning him here, and look at this. Starting to work on a bit of information back on Heroic. They're going to call this clear.
Yeah, but the messenger may not arrive in time.
Cadian's got the perfect weapon for the job for this here, Alex.
Certainly has. Rotate to be held at bay by Boomich. He's got it sprayed down. Tess Cadian is in position, but loses his head. As Bit loses his mind, pops a heady. Shush tries to claw one back, and surely you don't go for it.
Try and pick up this AWP if you refresh here. I don't think Bit's going to allow it. Fortifying this AWP, making sure that they can't scoop it up and carry it through to another.
Yeah, candle lit in memoriam of that AWP.
Look at this defensive smoke they've just thrown from mid. Simple's going to grab that. Bit is going to steal away the AWP. Heroic just threw out the smoke from middle to try and allow Refresh to push through and pick it up in the grey screen, and he's trying to do that now. Refresh.
What is going on?
Oh, that's violent.
Oh, that's more like it, I guess.
Yeah, well, making sure he doesn't get away with anything at all right there. Refresh will be denied. It's just going to be Shush to save. And 7 now for NAVI.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is a vibe change. This is definitely NAVI getting back in control of this. Fantastic T-half already. Anything more that they add, if they get 8, if they win out the half, this is their map and we're headed to nuke. There is very few possibilities for Heroic to get back on in after they lose this. G2 fans still out in full force. The team couldn't be here, but they clearly are.
That is one of the many defining characteristics of a Counter-Strike fan. The capacity to cheer for the Counter-Strike. G2 embodying that. And we do see our second tactical just elapsed there. That's Heroic just trying to solve this mystery.
Well, here's the conversation that's had with the loss bonus of 1900 that NAVI know. Do they go for a save or do they go for a buy? You saved 1 and 4. In this sense, 9 out of 10, actually I would say 9.9 out of 10, that you would go for a save in this situation, right? You would go for a save and then you'd go for a buy into that next round of play when the loss bonus is there. But by doing so, you put all the eggs in the basket of Shush to find the impact, and you likely give over an 8th round to NAVI here. All they have to do is avoid this M4, avoid tripping over their shoelaces, and NAVI are going to win out the half on their map choice. Fantastic stuff for them in the early stages here.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be a demo. Many teams setting their sights on Ancient may review a T side who've managed to look like they dictate the pace. And Boomich has found another immediately at the start of this one. Cadian looking to make one squeal, but between the wickets with that Zeus.
There's the rifle gone, that's the round done. Cleaning house. Navi looking good now, just 2 more bodies here as Perfecto staying diligent, cops a dink but gets the kill. Tessus in the grave and it's just Refresh to try and save. 2400 is about to come on through, so they will be looking for a buy here, but Refresh, what's the best he could hope for? Probably not a lot. He can hear these footsteps coming, bounding forward, looking for him, trying to rip the rifle.
It's a nice elevation. It might be hard to clear. Oh, Perfecto does adjust quickly. Now aware and relaying the information. Look at that map. The entire NAVI squad wants to take it away. Extend your suffering. And that they have.
This is the thing. The last 3 rounds of play have been really good for NAVI. Had 5 staying alive in 2 of those 3 rounds. So this is fantastic. Their economy now starting to really bolster here. You got a couple of players just under that 10K mark. So this is fantastic. You could be looking at a 10-5 T-half on Ancient. Real last opportunities for Heroic with rifles in their hands. The door smoked through. Disrespect this time. Navi coming through.
But here comes Cadian. Catapulted from his teammate's head. And break 2 dead. No, 1.5 through the boards. Tessus finishes what his leader started. Now that is some success. Heroic have been struggling to find anything off these aggressive maneuvers. Now they've got themselves a man advantage early in pursuit of a 6th. Just 3 components now of this NAVI machine, still trying to find a way to whir into action. It's down, denies bit. Boomich, a compulsory trade. A house divided now for NAVI.
Still possible here. Tessa's on a bit of an island right now. Has to be very careful how he wants to proceed. Doesn't have any help whatsoever, and sure, if he goes down on his fact-finding mission, the round will be wide open. But as he continues to push forward, calls it clear, Electronic might get caught off guard by this.
Yeah, it's a question of Tessus as well. Oh, long-range spray.
Real problems now. B is open for business. This is a big issue for Heroic. You can't lose a round like this. You fought hard. You had the trades in the opening stages go your way. You cannot let Navi rip this one out of your hands.
It was their round for the taking, and now it is them divided. Picking up the pace, Shush. Can't contest, but they may strike in unison. And they do. Refresh. Bests, boom. Electronic looking to secure the 1v2, but Refresh holds on. Again, he stands stalwart. On a map back-to-back from Inferno to Ancient, he seems to have held his own and held his nerve. Looking to retrieve an AWP. And any goodies that may linger.
Yeah, they had to win that one, right? They worked hard in the opening stages. The trades were going in their favor. Down gets one, goes down. And that's important for them to pick this round up. They can still keep this to a 1-round deficit, right? Going into the second half of play, win the pistol. They can put themselves on the board here. Maybe they can show us a thing or 2 on their T side. But Navi are definitely in the driver's seat of this map. At this point, it is their map to lose. When you get 8 rounds on the T side of a map like Ancient, you should be walking this one across the line. Both teams can buy here for the final round of play. No dramas there, and it's full buys. Everything you want, kits are in play, utils there. No dramas whatsoever as the mid-util dropped. Previous round, Navi went with a bit of pace. They tried to have a bit of a gear shift. It didn't work out for them as so many flashes dumped towards mid.
Like 4 flashbangs. And look at that. For a head-to-head, Cadian actually clips the wings of Simple. But it's hot now. Still hits the flick. Huge contribution out of Cadian. Run down by Bit, and the bomb spotted. The Star one-shotted, 17 HP for Simple to try and continue to maneuver. Last round, closing the gap would certainly be a recovery of sorts from Heroic. 8's great, 9's a whole lot better. And Cadian's given them a platform by which they can secure it.
Look at all the nades left over for Navi here. They can do whatever they want. Still 60 seconds left on the clock. Any of the executes are possible. Got a bit of room to work with here, but the biggest issue is mid right now. This forward position of Shush. If he gets a kill, he can change the tide of this round here for Heroic.
Nice off angle, not one to be immediately. Oh, great flash. So blind.
The util has been on point for Navi throughout.
Everyone working towards a common goal. Perfecto does go down though.
That's two spotted. They've been straight in towards A here. It's all on Refresh. He lines them up. He knocks down 2. It's just one to find. Electronic in a 1-on-3.
That is a problem, a big problem thanks to Refresh. The solo hold, and he lines up 2. I think he caught a wind of Tessus Electronic, not to be underestimated in a 1 versus 3 clutch on the stage. He's got a little bit of time to flirt with, and he's coming in. Oh! Refresh down, 1 to go, and Electronic knows. 9 seconds, Chad, he has to plan. He has to plan. Pulls a bluff! Oh! Beautiful! Truly unbelievable! He gets off the bomb! A second to spare, and Electronic pulls the 9th out of nowhere for NAVI! Unbelievable! That was a guarantee! And I'm seeing stars, hold on a second.
What an absolute monster. He opened this up with that kill there off the back of the flash. The 1-on-3 situation after refresh. Lines him up, knocks him down. Knows he needs to find the fight.
2, he had 3 seconds, Chad.
This is the thing, on the jump, he gets spotted still planting, thinks it's done, thinks it's dusted the flames there at his feet, and he converts. Electronic stepping up on the stage and puts NAVI close to converting their map now on the CT side, the easier side of the two. You heard what Simple had to say about this in the earlier stages of the tournament here. Let's see how quick they can convert. This would be 4 from 4 pistols here for NAVI, and they're looking to get this one done, looking to take it to Nuke.
Testing their metal into the Hurt Locker Surge 3 Danes. And the gatekeeper, hot from the previous, is still overwatching. Oh! What a shot! It's down. Opens up with first blood drawn onto Simple, no less. Information relayed. Space seized. That's why you put the PT-50 in his hands.
Yeah, so much room right now for Heroic here. So many options available as well. NAVI are the ones on the back foot on this pistol around the first. They could be losing the series so far. 2 spotted.
Heroic would love a pistol to overcome a monstrous T-half out of NAVI.
Lots of problems for NAVI here.
First step taken in the right direction, shush. He has got his full jester hat, waving, saying, come and get me, and look at what it's created. A wide open B bomb site. Cadian's already caught the rotation, and still they're hunting Shush. He has played his role to perfection. Just sold them down the river there, Chad.
Yeah, running rings around them right now. NAVI, oh, don't know where to look. It's down to grab another. Boomich in the dirt, and it's just Electronic here, the hero on the way into the half. There's no way he wins a round like this, out of position. 5 to find, no time. And Heroic, a big pistol round to win here on this T-half. They had a really good game plan there on the T-half of Inferno. If they can do anything similar right now on Ancient, we might have a game. But as I mentioned earlier, this should be NAVI's map to confirm. Be quite a showing for the Danes here if they were to take this one in 2. Be mounting a massive comeback. But that's the first step in the right direction. Ten-round streak for NAVI on this map, right? And when you have a T-half like that, you're looking to convert and make it your 11th consecutive. You go through the laundry list of those scouts to pick up 10 maps in a row. Heroic's one of those names. So I know that they're comfortable against the Danes in this territory. That's why they've picked it. That's why we're here.
Man, you have to reinvent yourself a little. Smoked off. Refresh, the leader of the pack with the littlest gun.
No early fight, so they'll give them the space. Playing for info here, Perfecto. Caden already getting across towards the Tetris box. Has a lot of room to work with here. The fight's going to come his way.
Same angle, same result. A repeat of the pistol, perhaps. They chose to invest, chose to try and defend for the second round conversion.
Yeah, you're not getting that FAMAS back anytime easy.
Couple of exposed heads.
This is the right call.
Boomich is one of them. He's gonna pop like a watermelon if he meets that Mac-10. Whoa, never mind. Boomich still plucks him from the skies with only the P250.
The They should hold on to this, right? They get the Famous back, they can drop that across into the next round to play. Just hold on to what you have. Give them the round, allow them to have 8. No dramas here for NAVI. Right, still plenty of rounds to be played here. But this is great stuff from Heroic, right? They're not rushing it, they're doing it as a unit. The calls are bang on in the early stages of this one here, and the aim is on point, right? Hitting a couple of nice shots. And one of the issues that NAVI had within that first map of Inferno on their CT side, how often did it feel like they had a full buy? Every round or every second round, they had MP9s, UMPs, Famouses in the mix. And if you can keep NAVI in that same position where they don't have full buys, Boomich is always on an MP9, maybe Bit has a Famous instead of that M4. That's where they're going to come into some bigger issues here. Hey, will be confirmed for Heroic now. 1 round game at this juncture. And this is class from Heroic. It's not the most explosive Counter-Strike. It's not in your face, but the way that they are playing, it's that chessboard again. They're stepping up when they need to, and this is their most important game. NAVI are the true test in this bracket here for Heroic. Lying in wait will be Ents for that semi-final affair. Held on to their goodies. Let's see if NAVI can put their dugs in the right place here to convert with that save Famous and the pistols around it.
Electronic forgot his weapon. Been gifted a pistol to try. I will reiterate, this one set up on a silver platter for the 9th round. Heroic, they have the guns.
This is so risky.
They're walking towards the lion's den. Never to be underestimated is Simple.
Perfectly timed. That's all the U2 was dumped. They just dropped 1 smoke towards Cave. That's going to stall out Heroic here. Sure, plenty of time on the clock to regroup and regather, but they used a lot of utility there. Still have a couple of smokes left over, a couple of mollies to work with here, but these pistols, if they get in the right place, they can be potent. Time, if it starts to become an issue, Heroic could find themselves in some dramas here.
You can see the pivot. Smoke towards the temple position, but Bit looks to take a couple upon arrival. Just a couple would be brilliant. Hard to track. Pesky bounce. He leaves with nothing. A quick one out of the P250. Electronic desperate to whittle away further. And it is Simple's FAMAS. NAVI with quite a foreboding presence now as the bomb does go down the flank. Look at this. A track, a tag, and a headshot. And Stout has found 2 in quick succession. Heroic trying to hold on. The rope is slippy. NAVI pesky, now just the one. And they know where he's coming from. A great first headshot from Boomich. But they stand and bang. Side by side, they ride to the 9th.
And they smile with that one. Stown with that double. Massive stuff from him. Bows them out. A gap in the smoke that could have been Heroic's undoing. That would have been Navi's way back in. You could see chipping away Electronic. Simple finds the gap too. But they're able to make sure they don't go down. That would have been dire. You can see just there on the fade. That's the double from Stown. Massive stuff from him and continues to battle forward.
A team effort. Heroic nearly walked straight into the jaws of NAVI there.
Guns are out now. This is where it heats up. Fighting forward, Caden. He wants to take the fight, and he's gone down to nades. Utility alone will be his demise.
Oh, taking some risks down. He wanted to be the playmaker. He's just the bullet catcher. Limping now towards that inevitable defeat. Refresh.
They're in.
Asking some questions of that statement. Boomich is tucked in. The uncleared angle. A couple of wallbangs. They do connect, but the bomb now planted safe. They need to try and find a frag. Oh! Tessus 1.5. Tessus, he may have done something special there because Simple's ears are ringing. And Electronic's already gone down. It's only the 2 of them now. Simple and Bit. And look at this. Look at this from Shush. Finishes off what Tessus had started. And now NAVI counting on Bit.
Chasing Ghost.
He's so loud. And they know it should be a spray, and that is 10. 3 out of Refresh. It was down with a triple in the previous. Every single member has delivered on this second map, and now NAVI in shambles.
This is trouble now, right now, for NAVI. This is big issues. That was a 3-on-5 situation, opening towards mid, opening towards cave. They still lose the round. The gap from Refresh, the push that he made, the balls that he had to go for a play like that, that's the only reason they get into that round. Refresh is stepping up when the team needs him most. Had a rough tournament so far, but it doesn't matter when you're in the quarterfinals, when you're taking on NAVI. They're going to limp in, a bit of a half buy here and a change. This is the AKs. They're going to use their range right now. Heroic are making some big calls.
Oh, this is fast. Look at the contrast. He's already in, just as vision's restored. Your eyes may fade to black at the hands of Heroic. Staring at smokes and flashbangs, the whole squad is here for both teams. And still not a body has dropped. Look at that, they're mollying CT. Spawn, Chad, but Electronic has caught Cadian. Over the donut smoke, I believe.
Bomb's not down yet. That's a bit of an issue here.
Look at this. I've never seen it. 4 Ts in Temple.
They could back off. They could make a bit of a odd play here, Heroic. I know they have so much space to work with. They're hoping the fights come their way. But Electronic, giving them the room. You're going to have to make a bit of a chop and change right now, Heroic.
You can't stay here forever. Spotting out another. Simple, humble. Re-smoking, this is a sign of a commit, but look at that. Something to play with. A toy added to the toy box of Electronic. Perfecto resides, they're going for a fake out. They want to try and draw anything left out of NAVI. Separating Perfecto, claws it back into the 4-on-4. Time-sensitive mission now, and still Bit's a problem. They've chopped to change the weapons. He can throw some heavy 50 caliber rounds from his pistol. Still stands strong, stalwart, on the swivel is Shush.
Trying to go big.
Not ready for the deagle. Saved by Refresh there. That nearly really spiraled.
What a crazy call. Take the bomb through Temple, try and go CT spawn towards B, but it works for Heroic. They get so much space, they wait for the fight, they take them with the AKs, they use them at range, and they actually wait for their own smokes to fade before they get that one done. But Heroic up to 11 now.
Yeah, that felt like a bit of a rule breaker.
Look, it was the right call to make against the pistols, and they found all the space, but it got dicey when Electronic found that first kill.
They are on fire on the T side.
This is the moment that Simple needs to step up. He's got this AWP out now. This needs to change for NAVI. They're down 2 rounds. CT side of map, and they're backs against the wall. They're 1 map down. Their map choice. Tournament life on the line. Defending major champions here are under the pump. Heroic, they're bringing it to him.
They haven't got a single defensive round. On the map, they haven't lost in 10 ancient showings. And through the boards, boom.
They found openings before, but they haven't been able to convert. This has to be the difference maker. Another 3-on-5. Before Refresh, he was the X factor, but he's in the grave. Somebody else for Heroic need to step on up.
It might have to be Bit to end and slap away this advance. Nice find from Electronic, and that's a NAVI remedy. 2 openings. Only Cadian with a chance to close. Simple says no. And that is the first. That is the first CT round for NAVI.
Need a couple more of those to start building this CT economy, build that bank up, and Heroic, I think they can smell blood in the water. They're going to take a timeout. They're going to have a discussion. The 3rd timeout for Heroic here. Get Exist on the mic, get him to confer with Cadian. Some big choices here.
Oh, yeah. Odd finances.
In this situation, Cadian would traditionally back himself in, but it's the T side of Ancient here. I don't know how he's going to operate with an AWP if he wants to go for that type of an option. He can, right? He definitely can. But where is he going to find that opening, right? When the gun rounds have happened, the 2 gun rounds that we've seen, they've been dealt a dud hand. They've lost multiple members early. Now here it is. Cadian, with his best map of the tournament on Inferno, trying to step on up and find the solution for the team. There are going to be a couple of purchases around this.
Antwerp trying to will this into a 3rd map. Heroic to spoil it all with a smile on their face while they do it.
That's the opener!
He's found it! Electronic flirting with aggression and rejected upon entry. That is a gift, Chad.
That's more than you could ask for. The opener within the first 10 seconds of the round right there. The in-game leader, he backed himself into the AWP. He found the kill he needed to, and now NAVI are the ones who have to solve this. They don't have enough money to work with in a situation like this. They haven't built the economy. They can't lose a round in this way.
And what's so punishing is that it's within the first 10 seconds. You have no answers. no answers for where Electronic used to reside and provide. So they're flying blind.
It's on the rookie here. I don't think we can call him that anymore.
Yeah, he's got a lot of util, Chad. I'm sure his premonition will dictate he starts dumping something soon, or will he sprint to aid what looks like a commitment into the hits. Got on in his sights, big burst, shushes Deagle, puts him down, tucks him in for an early bedtime.
Big problems for Navi here. They haven't accounted for the refresh X factor in a round like this. Bomb's gone down, time is ticking. Cadian with the power weapon. Refresh could have the round-winning play.
They're going to be so focused on the objective at hand, retake the site. And it's Heroic, who starts strong, full explode of his mag, and he does go down for it, punished for the spray. And this is, didn't spot it! Oh! What a turn-up! A no-scope from Simple, that was supposed to be it! That was supposed to be 12. And now the defuse coming in, Cadian asking if he can get anything going. NAVI say no. Can I see it again? Rewind the stream, play it in slow-mo, because Refresh had Simple dead to rights. But one of the highest sensitivities in the game, and it's just muscle memory destruction. The first, he's in temple, they say. Refresh, he activates, he chases, and Simple just destroys him.
Making a scene on everybody's screen. That's a heartbreaker from Simple right there.
Holy moly.
Staying alive, the orb's been saved. This one's not done yet.
What is Boomich doing? He's cooking up trouble. He's pulling out an alligator into the swamps of ancient creeps and alligator. He hit a banger before. Shush on the dig, beat out Bit. Keeping it conservative, Heroic in pursuit of glory in the next. Bomb plant, frags.
This is so threatening here.
No,
he's on an island.
It's just him. God, it's audacious. Links to stone, poke, prod, try and keep the defenses up.
Big nade.
Scope, and again, they find the opener. Look at the damage he just did. The most effective nade, I think, this game. But it costs him his life. Does it cost him the round? Light guns. This is supposed to just be a plant. Could it really be a Heroic round? The alligator discussed the perfect weapon. What are they doing? Charging forward and just trying to bring the fight. Cadian asked to do the impossible, and yeah, averts his gaze for a second. Electronic, perfect timed for the engagement. That will put Navi in control. And what went from 0 CT rounds, we now see 3 in consecutive fashion. Navi take the lead.
But they're so threatening. They're still so threatening here, Heroic. The fact that they're able to find this weak point, they're heading over towards A, and look, Bit, that nade was great, but he still went down without anything. There were issues in a round like this. All the kills came their way. This is Heroic playing outside of the box Counter-Strike, thinking if we catch Navi off guard, and they almost did. Simple was blind, he looked away, lucky that he had bodyguards. His teammates were there to bail him out of a round after the heroics of his in the previous. This one's still got a couple of twists and turns left. Cadian back on him with another AWP. Navi, no, they're not off the hook just yet.
Takes balls to go aggressive on a CT round with this much riding on it. Heroic know all too well. Every trick in the book from Tessus in pursuit of information. He leaves empty-handed.
They know they've been tested now. Look at the change-up here in this CT defense. They put the biggest gun on campus right now to deal with any of the pressures that Bit has been feeling, because they have been able to get in, and how many times are they going to be able to retake that site? So changing up the defense here, Navi, looking for their 13th, looking to take us to map number 3.
Good pace to this, flashing in, looking to test Cave. And Boomich, no issues, just re-peeks in, brings the fight. Navi have an opener. And it's Down that wants to perhaps close. He's found the head of Perfecto. Walking in, walking tall, puffing up his chest, taking as much space as he can. There are flashes behind. That trajectory implies more. More on the way. Good shot out of Shush. How has he found Electronic? That keeps us level. But maybe just for a moment, so much information filling his eardrums. Boomage, how are they not? Ready! They are! Oh, they are, don't worry! Shush onto the head! Back and forth, a one-on-one. This is not simple. Quick transfer of power back and forth. Did he spot?
Shush has heard this.
20 seconds! Oh! And he's done it! Shush with a couple of bangers in Antwerp. Boomage had the round in the palm of his hand. Shush just enough time to adapt. Impressive all round, but yeah, we're tied right back up. That's how he got electronic.
Yeah, it was a forward play for Info there. And Shush using his environment to his advantage in that situation. Simple with that kill, but he has no idea where Shush has gotten off to. I don't think he knew the bomb was down. The flick was almost on point in that situation here, but both teams, the money for both teams is in a rough spot. Both can get a buy back in. Both have some omissions in the purchases. But Heroic, if they could win a round like this, they're setting themselves up to try and steal this map away and 2-0 NAVI. This is a team they've had nightmares about.
But how often do you beat your nightmare in reality? They did it once at the RMR. This might be enough to get that demon out from under their bed.
This is the crucible for Heroic here. If they pick this up, if they defeat NAVI in this fashion, a whole new chapter in the Heroic book is opened. And a new gear for the team that we didn't know was possible.
On the prowl. Nades sail in, an exchange of utility. And it might be futile because it's Perfecto who sprays down 3. Monumental when he's needed. Perfecto delivers.
Questions to be asked here. Still problems.
Burn, Hurd, it's down. How has he slipped around? No one knows. No one knows. Now they do, and Simple relieves the pressure valve. Cadian, I don't even know if you got the time for funny business. But Perfecto just stands tall on that ramp.
Looked like it could have gotten out of control there as well. You could see that if he doesn't get 3 kills in that situation, they could scale onto the site. We've seen them before with a bit of pep in their step. Able to get some upgrades coming through a bit, gets himself an M4 there, and yeah, they do hold on to the AWP on the other side of things, but this is where the finances were an issue for both teams, right? The loss bonus for both teams, not great whatsoever. This is the situation for Heroic now, where maybe they want to burn that final timeout.
Капец, что-то я совсем обленился, даже ничего не комментил, просто чисто включил. И комментаторы все комментят. Может попробовать подключиться? Чтобы вам не в окошке было, а на целом экране. Ну долго что-то матч затянулся, реально. Тут же по 3 игры, да, играется? Если еще игра будет, то это, конечно, жесть. Долго очень. Я думал, сейчас быстренько Нави их разнесут, а оказалось совершенно по-другому. Да, почему-то в игре не слышно комментаторов. Очень странно это. (12-13) Играбельно. Ой-ой-ой, Симпла как вырубается авика. Ну, Нави в большинстве на самом деле. Где там Нави? Сейчас будут ретейкать пытаться. Ай-яй-яй, нашил его в смочину-то. Фрага Лорик. Где мы такую игру вот увидим? Профессиональную. 50 секунд у нас на таймере. Сможет забрать? Один тут, а второй... Да, нет, они оба тут. А подсвечивание игроков можно включить? На Ика же вроде нет. Мне тут не видно. Ну, зум хотел сделать, не получилось. Решающий раунд. Все, давайте Нави, закрывайте их уже, все. Иди катка. Хотели что-то. Странно, кстати, что у чувов на агентов скины совсем нет. Видимо, на турнирах нежелательно с агентами играть. У всех классический скин. Ну или как он, агент называется, да, вроде? Видимо, какой-то дисбаланс они выносят все-таки, эти агенты. Но они же разных цветов на разных картах. И, типа, они могут реально быть дисбалансными, сливаться с местностью. Наверное, есть какие-то правила турнирных карт. Ай-яй-яй. Берите. Давайте за симплом последим. Будут сейвить, что ли? Придется сейвить, похоже. Они можно так в допу игру довести, это же пипец. Я поставил на Нави. Руслан Горбачук, привет. Ну, я думаю, все-таки Нави выиграют. Это первый раз я тебя на стриме своем вижу, приветик. А сколько ты поставил, Руслан? Научи меня. Ну, просто надо собраться, я думаю. И будет все окей. Ты же, расскажи мне, тут по 3 раза, да, они играют, получается? По 3 игры. 100 гривен. 100 гривен. А сколько это, кстати, в рублях? Ну счет опасный, конечно, очень опасный. Главное, Нави сейчас не проигрывать, а то будут допы. За симплом надо смотреть. У Нави денег будет мало, очень. О, у Нави нет денег. Ретейкать они будут. Но лучшим вариантом, конечно, будет засейвить. Девайсы совсем у них нет ничего. Электроник лоу хп. Жесть. Это получается после этой игры будет еще, да, игра? 4000? Ну неплохо ты. Если получается... А именно ты поставил на вот эту игру, да? Это вообще не ожидал я такого. Ты мне объясни, они будут еще играть, да? Руслан. Да. Окей, спасибо, что сказал. Ну пипец. У нас стрим сколько длится уже? 2 часа с половиной. Я думал, будет быстрее, Нави их закроют, да, на изичах. Все, наверное, так думали. В итоге так легко не получилось. Они могут просто сейчас закомбечить геройки, и все будет печально для Навей. У меня почему-то голос комментатора не работает тут. Go TV или... Как он там называется? Кто у нас там? У Нави на первом месте бит. 22 килла. 22 на 17. У геройков ТСС 16 на 2. Странно, кстати. Вот. Ставим. 17 на 19. Ну ты первый раз похоже на стриме, да? Я так понимаю. А как, кстати, смотри, за траекторией гранаты я что-то нажал и за гранатой, ну и смотри. А, вот альт, я понял. Когда типа он отбрасывает, альт нажимаешь и гранат прыгает. Вроде как, или я не что-то так не понимаю. Выход на А. Смогут они встретить? Опа, хорошая гаешка. Сочи. Давайте, Нави, заберите раунд. Я в вас верю. Какую собаки? Ну быстрее надо, быстрее подтягиваться. Прочитать? Прочитал. Забирают карту Нави. Найс. Хорош. Что у нас дальше там будет? Что будет дальше?
Heroic do make them sweat. But NAVI here and take us to the distance.
Extending that winning streak now to 11 consecutive ancient wins. NAVI, they do it the hard way. All 30 rounds, massive plays required.
В смысле хорош? Что хорош?
They're moving to nuke with a smile on their face. They have withstood the Danes. And they're back in this series.
And so is Bit. And so is Bit.
He needed that. He was tested on that A site time and time again. Finally, he stood up, right? There was multiple occasions where they came over towards that A site and knocked on his door, and he got one and done. If that, and this time around, gets multiple kills, and they close it out. So NAVI sweat off the brow.
Yeah, you saw them send simple. Send electronics, someone to help him. In the end, he just needs himself that lovely hold for the last round of regulation, and they do secure it. My mind is awash with what the third map could look like. But before we do that, let's break down the second over at the panel.
Не вижу,
An
что ты там.
absolute emotional roller coaster, but Navi, they survived the white knuckle ride. They were not going to let that man win streak go down without a fight. And man, Heroic, they brought more than I thought possible on that second half. But Navi, they survived the brawl. That was an absolutely spectacular map, Maui.
That is the Ancient I want to see played.
Are you satisfied? Are you happy now?
Yes, I'm starting to come around to the map. That's what I want to see. You rarely see teams take that much initiative from the individuals, and you rarely see them put together plans on the fly that are as clean as what Navi and Heroic did there. That was some excellent top-tier Counter-Strike. There's a reason we build this as the marquee matchup, because it absolutely is delivering.
Yeah, and I have been sold on Navi's T side. That was the greatest question mark for me moving into this Ancient. The fact that I hadn't seen it in a while, I hadn't seen them make the difference on that half, but actually the way they mastered the tempo of that first half was so key for me. How they changed from a very fast round to a slow pace. I think that most teams, when playing slow and Ancient, end up just being absolutely walled out. No way
Люди
back.
видят глобала и приглашают меня сразу. Пипец.
So crisp. When
Еще
they
какие-то
decided to go,
бессовестные.
I was convinced.
Чисто из-за глобала меня приглашаете. Может быть, затроллить кого-нибудь? А, мне даже кто-то друзья добавлял.
They are high-flying fraggers. They
Я
trust
даже не знаю, что
themselves so
делать.
much. We got round 6 here to break down, and we will see just how Navi love
Когда
to
будут Нави
enter
играть?
these
Может, на
bomb
ремчик
sites.
сходить?
Despite the fact
Думаете?
that the opening kill happens towards mid, we see that Navi unlocks things by pushing forward deeper than so many other teams are comfortable with. Look at how much they just
Видите,
trust
Глобала
themselves to move
приглашают.
on and take
В
down
онлайн.
Acadian,
Смотрите.
Texas as well. As soon as
Глобал.
Navi knows that you are
Но у них
playing
фул,
back,
похож, пачка.
that is usually the strength of the CTs on this map. The fact
А
that you can
длинная?
play back,
А,
play
короткая.
safe around those angles, but Navi takes everything away from you when they want that site.
And what's interesting in terms of conditioning as well is that in
6
this round,
глобалов.
the timer is quite high. It's still 1 minute and 10 seconds
Yeah.
when they actually pounce. And when they decide to slow, they punish Heroic's attempt at regaining information. And that has to be the #1 condition if you're going to beat Heroic on the CT side. You want to play slow, you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. You have to be everywhere on the map and let them come to you. Let the clutch come to you. And that's
Может,
exactly
сходите
what
все-таки
Navi
на
did
ДМчик,
this
ребят,
go round.
That's
разрешите
something
мне
that
на
I
ДМ?
love about just the development of Navi over the span of few years. You know, they were so classically famed for that slow style of Counter-Strike, but the fact that they can mix that pace up as well, beautiful to watch, particularly on Ancient. We have got to give it to Mr. Electronic himself as well. Huge man, you were saying, Maniac, this is the man that we look at on the big stages. Sure, he might have been a little bit slow. There might have been a few question marks about him coming into the stage, but that land stage, he always is going to be delivering.
Out of all the professionals that currently are at the top level of Counter-Strike, if there is a man that I would always trust to show up in big games, it'd be Electronic. And I think he's earned that title so many times. He's had at moments maybe a period where he slowed down, maybe he didn't find his groove, but I guarantee you when we hit the playoff, when we're on the stage, when the spotlights are on him, he just shows up and it never fails. I thought this time, his year in 2022 was so slow and it was such a fumble. I thought surely not, but he proves me wrong another time and he shows up with his A game again.
Yes, I mean, I think you wanted to talk about this one clutch. We all wanted to talk about
yeah,
this
you
one
gotta bring
clutch.
this one up.
This one shocked the crowd, shocked the audience. I think that Electronic has just become a stone cold killer. It's almost like he doesn't even care if there's a crowd in front of him. In fact, he probably plays better with it.
Maybe he
just
loves it.
Likes the
Yeah.
excitement. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's try bring up round number 15 because it actually started off with a really nice spray down from Refresh, and we thought, man, like he's lined it up perfectly,
Yes.
beautiful timing for him. But then Electronic just absolutely answers back into this one.
Yeah, round 15 is another example of the very strong Navi that never gives up. Look at this, the work being done by Electronic. Well, I think this is probably his highlight, and only in round 15.
Oh, right here.
It's just the way he moves. Look, fake plant with 4 seconds. 4 seconds left, and a fake plant. And the thing is, if he fakes and his opponent doesn't peek, he looks foolish.
Yeah.
But he works out.
He mind controlled him. He mind controlled him. He pulled the string, and that's exactly, he made Heroic do exactly what he wanted in that round. He snuffed them out. He figured out exactly how to break that one down. I think that Heroic did a good job doing that with some teamwork, but the fact that Electronic can do it on his own, that is why he is a world-class player, and he's delivering once again in the biggest of moments.
We've also got to give it up to Bit as well, obviously, in those final moments, in that final round, doing absolute work. But the fact that you were saying, Maynard, before we were coming live, not necessarily translated, you know, in the opening kill stats that we'll be seeing, but his ability to be making space and actually winning those duels initially, incredible stuff from the youngster.
It doesn't necessarily count as an opening kill by the HLTV definition, but the amount of time where Bit was actually the can opener into a bomb site and so crisp in his entries. I think having a man like Bit and someone like Electronic on your squad allows you to toy a little bit with the tempo of your game, because you know that if you run down the clock and it's 30 seconds left, and it's, look at this, look at the opening on Kanan, that's a freaking sniper against him. If you're Boomich, you know with 45 seconds you have a man that's able to white swing into an AWP and make the difference. Man, suddenly the tactical game of chess becomes so easy. You have so
Можно мне все-таки на ДМ сходить? Разрешите мне?
It feels like in Counter-Strike.
Все равно Нави пока не играют. А все против всех или что? Нет, это не все против всех. Я хочу все против всех. Классический.
Shocked when I just see him track a guy that's bunny.
Сейчас музончик включу какой-нибудь. Музыка. Затеру в калаш надо потренить. По 9 минут. Треним АИМ. Мне бы не помешало потренить АИМ. А то на глобалу не настреливаю немного. Необычно, конечно, смотрится. Вот эти руки увеличенные. У меня, знаете, какая проблема? У меня на какой-то части коврика просто этот сенса слетает. Я хз. Как пофиксить эту проблему? Ты будешь умирать сегодня? Да. Глобал что-то не попадает сегодня. О, попал. Но Глобал обязан выиграть эту катку. Помню еще на нон-прайме я по 100 киллов настреливал. КС что-то тихое. 1% там уже стоит. Я думаю, из-за этого. Чтобы ты умный какие-то. Надо мной чего? сложный батл. Мне так кажется. Пизди говорю. Плохо я стреляю, что-то. Хилимся. Нет времени. Надо 1000. чуть-чуть. Да, задрали. Nice. На ножик под конец. Нормальная тема. 8-7 киллов. Мало, конечно. Ладно, что там Нави играют? Пикнули карту наконец.
Never give him the time of day. We'd say, yeah, he's a great IGL, but, you know, individually speaking, he's going to fall out. He's never going to be able to hold his ground. Well, he's doing it right now. He's the highest rated player for Heroic. Even on Ancient, he was finding these opening kills. He was instrumental. He could make such a statement for his career and his development right here.
Well, we're going to see exactly how it does go down. We're going to see if the villain of the Sports Parlay can take it against the reigning champions of the CSGO Major. Man, Alex, Chad, I am so excited to be diving into this nuke. How's it feeling down there?
Oh yeah, exactly the same as you, Freya. I'm vibrating with excitement because we have our third map right around the corner. Antwerp, you ready for a third? That is a yes. That is a yes, and I hope you are too, Chad.
Yeah, Nuke, a real delectable treat here to sink our teeth into for the third and decider. NAVI getting to start on the CT side of this. Heroic to take the fight to them, and the T sides of both have been pretty
Я слышал, что у Нави на нюке очень хороший винрейт. Я думаю, из-за этого Нави пикали нюк.
Julie's up before, scooped up, two pairs, Perfecto and Boomich wielding those.
Хотя, может быть, это
Very light utility for this pistol for Heroic.
Я не знаю,
Keep blown off.
Setting up for summon.
Нави начинает за наоборот, они за КТ сторону.
NAVI have to recover and retake. Wide open now, and so many opportunities for the T's to engage in some form of unison. Elevations adopted as well.
Bomb's already halfway ticked here.
Yeah,
Some real problems for NAVI.
Lobby, maybe the go sign, maybe they're waiting for Electronic, but he's taking his sweet time. Coming in from main. Already very little to celebrate for NAVI. Heroic looking for a clean sheet and change with a couple of USB headshots. But their fate is sealed. Bit the last to fall, takes another head with him. But that's Heroic taking their second pistol of the series.
Open and closed by Cadian here. He dropped in top of main, gets the opening kill to kick this one off, and then they just split in towards that top side. So picking up where he left off, has had some good impact in this series. Might not be loved by everybody in the arena here, but his team are loving him right now. The impact the in-game leader has had is beautiful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You heard Matthew on the desk. I couldn't echo his sentiment anymore. Maui as well. I mean, stating the obvious perhaps, but everyone expecting this to be a good game, a close game.
Экран побольше сделать.
Well, they force ball in, true to form here. Smoke wall up.
Ты уверен? Но мы тогда не будем слышать комментаторов. Это, конечно, будет не очень. Ну, типа, смотри, я могу сейчас загрузить, конечно, но комментаторов не будет слышно, хз. Как пофиксить эту проблему? Реально не знаю. Загрузка. Вот, типа, видишь, ничего не слышно. Голос отключен.
Repelled the Heroic second round conversion.
Gap here.
Bit of a gap. Bit of a gap.
He's got time. This round is not done just yet. 40 seconds left on the clock. 2 to find. Knows where the bomb is. Boomich sustained a lot of damage here in the rotation. Is hearing the footsteps of Perfecto as well. So a good idea where both of these players could be residing right now. This would be massive for Stown to make his mark in the server early. 30 seconds remaining.
NAVI have a decision to make. They know where that bomb lies, and intermittent checks will be given up in favor of time being on their side as they both, in synchronicity, moonwalk to decon. He's got a cross, but how is he supposed to plant? There's two CTs right here. There's two of them, and they will collect. NAVI started by Simple, ended by Perfecto. They have immediately wrestled back control of this game.
Well, the Dusk was just talking about the force by wars. Let's see how long this goes on. 1-1, and of course Heroic are going to bounce back in with one of their own. 2 drop Famouses in that previous round. As we're getting the shirts off, it's getting hot in here.
The Heroic corner.
Not many of them. I had a Dane in an Australis jersey come up to me and say, we're going to be cheering for NAVI. So even the Danes are against Heroic in the arena right now. But saving an AK and getting a Galil into the hands of the CTs now. A bit of a light peppering towards the main position. Held at bay, and now Cadian's AK is noted. So that information is in the favor of NAVI. They need to be a little bit more careful how they ply their trade. Utility is scarce right now for Heroic as well, so they're going to have to try and do this through bodies. And the Des discussed last time round a liability that was Bit. Well, he's going to get some help early here, and in this type of position, he needs to be good for at least one. Deep smoke's deployed. Not going to hit that mark here, so a bit of a flub out of Heroic.
Yeah, and the limited resource. And that's the AK gone without a single bullet connecting. Bit to be tested. He is being run down. Meets down, but NAVI have a two-man advantage as well as the weaponry. This investment out of Heroic, they need the plant to stop them is boom. 2 on the plate. And Doors engaged, but Shush hits his heady. Down. Mission changes now. Damage the name of the game.
He has a good idea that there's multiple players here. Heard some footsteps. Time again for Stown, but this one is very, very difficult with the Deagle in hand.
Yeah, Shush has caught one. Stown the same. Anything more is a bonus.
They're giving him so much room, enough rope to hang himself right here. He needs to go down.
Yeah, he's actually going to start making a lot of noise. Just kill me. Just kill me. And they will oblige. Some pistol upgrades for NAVI. A smile on the face and a little bit of breathing room.
Heroic have had some woes throughout this event on Nuke. We've actually casted a couple of their games. We saw their Spirit match was an absolute loss. Like we caught that one. It didn't look great. And early stages was these buys that they were going for time and time again. But the fact they didn't get the plant there and they only get 2 kills, it is likely now just to see them be humbled in a scenario like this. So NAVI have done enough. They respond to the early aggressions of Heroic here. And now we look to post NAVI's third. Now, some of the question marks about Bit, we need to keep an eye on him. Now, there's plenty of options of how they can bolster the ramp position and help out Bit. You know, you can move Simple over there with the AWP to deter them from trying to hit that territory in later rounds here.
He got caught off there.
Yeah, look, a little bit caught off guard, but this push is coming through, and yeah, that's a bit confusing, but it works out. Simple gets the kill.
And he's going to get away if he's not careful. They just dip away as Simple. It was all part of the plan.
Well, Electronic... oh, yeah. I naded you. I guess you can have the AK instead, mates. Try and use this one at range as Bit gets an opportunity now. Oh, okay, Electronic down.
So that must be a subset of Bogdan's Law.
Okay, there's a new one.
It's like chapter the second clause of Bogdan's Law in his thesis.
Does it only work if your name's Simple?
Exclusively, as it currently stands. If you nade me and they're on a light buy, you boost me and give me the AK. It's a bit of a long paragraph, but it is there.
Okay, well, as long as we're sticking to the fine print. We're going to get into the juicy rounds now. Heroic, they get to set a bit of a tone here. And as mentioned, their nukes so far in this event, they have been wobbly. It's not filling me with a lot of confidence here for the Danes to be able to push this NAVI roster, which was once their absolute home turf, where they made a name for themselves.
Yeah, but there's none quite as potent on this map than NAVI.
They've been leaning away from it, which is curious here. Squeaky blown off. Stown held at bay by some defensive utility. Multiple incendiaries there piped in towards that Squeaky door room. Don't want to allow him to walk out the door and get down that vent. So holding them at bay and forcing the yard smokes out now. Heroic are going to try and look for space elsewhere.
Bit of chip damage unconfirmed as the smokes completely obscure Electronic. It's just his understanding and his intuition now for when to spray, when to click. Nothing connects. Caged though by a smoke from the CTs, they choose to disrespect it silently.
Now this is the man you want towards the lower side of things to deal with this. Yeah, one and away. A repeat is likely here as territory is taken at least here for the Danes. The second component of this will determine where they want to finish.
Yeah, Simple's just keeping himself warm, staying mobile, staying jiggly. One way to counter it. What a shot! Set up for success. Simple pantsed in the low sight. And activating straight into Stown. He was parked in on the hut. Chased down, committed on the drop. Bit on ramp does put one down.
30 seconds.
But Stown still stands vigilant.
Bomb's in lobby here.
Where do they get it?
Navi don't know this, and there's nobody from Heroic near the bomb.
What is going on here?
He's seen
Now
it.
they do.
Electronic spotted it. The round's going to change.
He's screaming, I have the bomb, and they've got 15 seconds.
If the round's done,
smoke,
there's
it might
no
be
way in.
over. It might be over. All of that for nothing. Stown is watching in dismay. They're just rushing through. What else can they do? Navi, solve it. Absolute glory. As they just watch as the fourth round comes to them.
Unforced error dies after time. Tassus, that one's gonna sting.
$0.
The smile on the face from Simple here, I think that says it all. He gets flatlined to kick off the round, and they still pull it back, the fly in the ointment. It was heroic.
Tessus has a Glock and $0, Chad. He couldn't buy a Haribo if he wanted to.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, well, that one is going to sting right there, and a timeout taken here from Heroic. This one is really going to start to mount. 16-14 on Ancient. How close that was. They could have taken it 2-0, and now stomaching a round loss like that. They were not the errors that we saw Heroic making on maps 1 or 2. But they were the details that they were taking care of. They were looking fantastic. They were looking tidy. They were looking as a unit. And here, dropping the ball in what should have been their round. One way to get on the board early here on the T side after the Force by Wars had concluded. So they will have to stomach this one, Heroic. And Tassus, that one is going to sting. But yeah, as soon as he runs through the hut position and he sees the bomb down, they know that the round is in their favor. It becomes about defending the bomb. So fantastic work. And look at this. Not the type of round you expect to be winning when the AWP gets dismantled towards the lower side.
And just a little glimmer of real raw emotion there on the face of Simple. Inferno into a close Ancient. You really did have that shot whistle past your ear of the 2-0, and they are coming to the domain of Bit. Can he find his feet? He does do exactly what's required of him. Get the kill, survive, do not put weapons into enemy hands, and now it's Electronic to take everything away from Heroic in this round. A light buy, conservative in nature, Kevlar, some pistols, a little bit of map control. They have ramp and it's being respected. Tough one for Electronic. Oh, wow. Does that fall? Can he get it? No. Boomich answers the question.
Well bodyguarded there. The bomb is still on the back here of Shush. If they can break in towards this lower side, they might be able to get the bomb down. It's just the one man here to defend. He got the first completely blind. I'm sure he'd love to see his opponents. As Bit peers out, the AK spams away. He's being run through, the rotations are coming, but Bit's going to handle this. Shush is in the grave, and Katie in 2. 5-1 now. Navi stretching their legs here.
Dominant start.
But issues, right? Because Tassus went down after time, Navi know this too, that his money with the loss bonus is not going to be where he needs it to be. So he will have to have a bit of an omission in the buy. You've got a couple of choices. You get a Galil, you get a MAC-10. Well, neither sound as good as an AK-47. So Heroic into this round, they're going to be relying on the in-game leader, Acadian, with his signature weapon here as the crowd getting louder and louder. Remember, this is the boogeyman for Heroic. Navi are their absolute worst nightmare, and they're feeling it now.
Pressure into the yard's position. Simple. He wants to put Heroic right back onto the back foot. With an early blow. And that's the end for Refresh. Meets his maker. Look at the aggression they're flowing with. I mean, it might have to be Cadian. It might have to. What are you supposed to do now? Look at the audacity out of Simple.
Lots of talking from Simple here as well. Nothing decided just yet. Number advantage. Just under a minute left on the clock. Smoke starting to fade. Heroic clustered together here, but here's the next one. Another spotter, barrel spotted, Electronic.
They're just going to assume it was clear after Simple already eloped. But no.
Feels limp, feels like they have to save. Look at the time. What are you meant to do right now? There's no way forward, no way back.
What a shutout, what a shutout.
This is scary now that this is the way the game started, with a couple of unforced errors coming their way, and now when they're looking for room, they're getting dismantled one at a time. Heroic struggled against Ents on Nuke. They had a hard time against Spirit on Nuke. The T-sides were a problem in both of those games. And here they are the ones who opted to take it to Nuke, as Pumic has opted to take it away. Look at this from him. The timing is perfect. Gets one in the side, does get traded out, but that takes a lot of potency away from the next round of purchases.
Where's Electronic's weapon got off to?
He was looking for the AK that was on the body of Shush, but Tessas actually came over and picked that up because he only had a Mac 10. So it's the little details right there, but they will get the guns back in everybody's hands. And cash starting to swell for NAVI now. They're in a very good position. Lost bonus, maxed out for Heroic. They can keep the purchases coming through, but remember, they need to get the plans to give themselves the bonus cash.
We haven't seen signs of a threatening post plant from Heroic yet. Oh, the pistol.
It's the pistol, that's it. And they lost the force fight to the two Famises. That was where Simple had two big kills down towards the lower side.
Speak of the devil, look at this. He's already on the polar opposite in pursuit of the same. Refresh knows the pain. But it might be Cadian to be boosted into the line of sight. This is a familiar Heroic opener. Their signature move is Simple, been watching his demos. Yo! One to the thigh, but Cadian does thrive. Superstar down, and so is the team.
Quick response here from NAVI.
Side. They are here on force. In numbers and position, Tessas meets Pumic. He needs more now. Needs to tap these heads, these pesky heads. Slipping into the sight under his crosshair. He's only got a few bullets left. Oh, and it's enough! One left in the chamber. Pumic for heads. Bomb retrieval mission. Smoke up. You've got time on this. Trying to disappear. The door does not swing open. Electronic restrained. Forced away. Pumic immediately springs to action, gets that info. Cadian is hoping to catch a rotate.
Power position.
And this could be everything. Look at that, a little smoke out of Electronic, and he leaps to his death as Bit plucks him from the pack. It's only Shush. At least a bomb plant shot, but he needs more. He needs it now. Electronic's ahead, and the spacing's perfect. NAVI starting to smile. They know this is feeling very comfortable. Business as usual. Regular, everyday, scheduled programming for a NAVI CT side. It even started with an opener.
This is the thing. How many rounds are you going to get Simple as the opening kill? It's happened twice now, and they haven't been able to convert either of them. That's not going to happen every day of the week. The fact that they've been able to get that and still not get into the rounds is testament to how deep this NAVI roster goes. This is some issues here for Heroic. If you get the opener and you're not converting, you are in hot water.
Something is wrong, yeah, for sure. NAVI have really put a leash on this Great Dane. And again, the battle for first blood, this time one out by Stown. They have to be able to convert this one, Jack. And Simple immediately makes it 4-on-4. Cadian was assuming. Oh, Shush, zooming. How is he there already?
Slipped the net for a moment. This is the next fight on the plate. How many can Pumic get?
Yeah, he's been known to multi-kill.
Spotted.
Oh, beautiful. Tess is ready, and now NAVI counting on Perfecto. Oh! Through the flashbang! He prevails with a double. Bit, they scream as they check the scoreboard. Known to be the ramp player. And Heroic's best opportunity since the pistol. Just one man stands in their way, and the clock is ticking every second in favor of them. Info is the name of the game, and Stown is the one to close. 3 kills out of him. A bit of a correlation forming.
Yeah, the post plans there that they had adopted were fantastic. That was a very difficult round for Bit to win. Heroic take care of business. They get themselves back on the board. The 7-round streak comes to a close. But NAVI can still buy. There's no issues in the finance department for round number 10. Heroic are going to need to pull something off like that again, and it was much more of a pack mentality. They all went towards Yard behind the smoke wall, and they traded well. They've got a second timeout called. And if they can get themselves up to 5 on this T half, that's going to be pretty damn good going into their CT defense.
Wow. Stown has more frags than 3 members of Heroic combined here at round 10.
Well, he's the superstar out of Heroic. He's the man who needs to step on up and take the pain, take the fight to NAVI. Would love a 2IC, a second in charge here. Plenty of names that can be thrown into that list, especially on a map like Nuke. Safe pairs of hands, a lot of these riflers. That's the thing with Heroic. They have so many skilled riflers here.
Oh, look at that spawn and look at the intent in his eyes. It is, again, Simple that wants to go walkabout. He's got this support structure in place. The nades rain in.
We've seen this one before. Different look from Heroic. This is a different look from Heroic here.
They're coming to test you.
It's on Perfecto.
Into Perfecto, blind. And already the flash comes through. 2 required, add a bit, and he doesn't get them. A hard laboured spray, and Tessa's not allowed to reload. That is another Na'Vi round. Heroic. Is that the sign of a team that's run out of ideas, or was that just another attempt?
They were hoping to play with the rotations there. They were hoping to play with the rotations in Na'Vi, but the rotations for Na'Vi were perfect. How many bodies did they just have on that top side? Bits the ramp holder. He's there getting multiple kills in towards that A site. Na'Vi read that one like an absolute book. The aggressive yard play meant they didn't need to worry about it, right? It meant that they could put an extra body there. There was a gap, it was ramp, but they knew it. You can't be strong everywhere, and Na'Vi hedged perfectly here.
Wow, 8 already.
Pace change again.
Very, very scary for Heroic, but they still smile and charge. Leading the pack was refreshed, was past tense, because Boomich is here, and so is Electronic. Another opening for Na'Vi, and it's horrible. It's catastrophic for Heroic. If it's not Stown laying down the law, who is it?
It's happening so quickly. We're already about to find ourselves in a 9-2 scoreline. These 3 remaining want to try and rip this one away, but what are they meant to do? They use the utility to try and get towards top side. They have been absolutely denied from Na'Vi here.
And now you find yourself where the round started. 2 players gone. Half your nades gone. I mean, you really are pulling at straws to find a way in. Tessa's got to have pixel perfect precision.
Yeah, trying to make something out of nothing here.
On the placement of that.
They're going to wait for this one to start to fade and drop their own. The avenue of assault, the vent. That is where they're hoping to find a gap right now.
Through the skylight.
Perfecto can deny this.
It's all about when he chooses to engage. Just shy. Heroic looking for trouble, looking for blood. They are light on time. The wallbangs distract, and Na'Vi give them nothing. Nothing.
That's heard.
And now they will start to topple at the hands of Electronic. And nothing to celebrate. Na'Vi give them nothing. Absolutely nothing. Table scraps for Heroic. They got 9 though on the board already, Chad, and the half is not done.
This is looking like peak Na'Vi when they were the best on Nuke, right? That they could not be touched on Nuke. This is when Na'Vi would just stall everybody out with the CT sides alone. Remember the astonishing games that they would have where they would just close the door, the CT wall would come up, there's no way forward.
Well, I mean, this is the conversation we used to have. We'd say, okay, would you like to go to Simple and Electronic, or would you like to go to Bit? You know, I mean, make your choice, because all of them suck.
But they're not testing Bit here, and that was the conversation that Desk had, Bit having a rough go at ramp.
Here's Electronic. Him and Simple. Not to be trifled with on the yard position. He reads them so well. Tess is caught out in the smoke. There is one back. That AK invested in by the leader. He is trying to take matters into his own hands now.
Bomb down, loose towards that top side. Just running on out. Stown gets taken by Perfecto, 2 to find now. There was a small window of opportunity, but Stown giving up his life, dropping the bomb. They can fortify this. Simple now has the cross covered off.
Yeah, this is perfect from Simple. He's in the right place. Jiggle out. Goes wide on it. Cadian is baiting the shot of Simple. And Shush with the slam dunk.
They need a fire starter. A 2v4 would be one way to do it here.
Oh, this would be the kindling cinder for ignition. Certainly quite the remix if they can find it. Oh, he's heard. So brazen from Boomich. He goes straight to it, like a moth to the flame. A Boomich to the scope. And Cadian completely caught off by that one.
Taking care of business right now, 10-2. Nothing's going to stop Na'Vi here. What can Heroic change? They're running out of ideas. This is going to be the third tactical timeout call to try and change things up. You can see them looking back, having the conversation with Exist, needing to work out, can there be a solution? The half's not done yet. If they can salvage 4, maybe 5, their CT half not going to be snuffed at. They can get themselves back into this game, but right now it's one-way traffic. NAVI are undeniable so far in this third map, first half. Everybody stepping up in the conversation about how long could you keep Simple quiet. Well, still, he's at the bottom of the scoreboard. Electronic continues to have a banger of a series. 17 kills for him already. Bit with 12, 10 for Boomich, 9 for Perfecto, and Simple with only 7. He hasn't even been needed.
NAVI have that air about them again, Chad. Just their presence on the CT side, it does look and feel like the final boss is back.
Oh, they've called this off, but he got caught running back through the flames. They wanted to do a top pop. Refresh was looking for some space, but running back through the flames, through the fire, he goes down, and an opening kill given up again. NAVI are set here for 11. They just have to convert 4 more frags. Heroic are caught chasing their tail, looking for space. Tessa's trying to do something, trying to get them some room, and he's been chipped away through the smoke. What can they do? They can't do anything right now.
This is horrible for Heroic, you know. To feel so powerless in a game you play so much. It's a rarity, but they really cannot get anything going at the hands here of NAVI. Simple just looking for a couple of gimmies. Slips off, and it is Shush that's starting to find some headshots, but that is one of the many required. Cadian's got something to be said about Perfecto, and he has managed to slink behind. Oh, spotted out by Boomich, and it's Simple that will miss the shot. Late, looking for damage, gets nothing done, and Shush just the one. 11 for NAVI. This is a CT haul any team would bite your hand off for in a third map of a quarter-final here at the PGL Major. Live from Antwerp 2022, and our reigning champions sitting comfortable. I'm talking silk for the pillow they currently reside upon. 11-2.
Last ditch attempt for Heroic now. They've got a full buy into the next. This one here is making the best of a bad situation. This is miserable. They've been suffocated here. The rounds they got those opening kills on Simple, I bet they wish they converted those.
That's true too.
Boomich is denying this. Look at his forward space. Flashed off. He's going to give away his forward position with a spam. We'll have to reload. They're coming through.
Oh, this is not bad. He's so blind. Maybe Shush has given him a way in, but they're not ready for Perfecto. Up for just the one. A double spray out of Electronic. Stubborn as always. But Heroic have to deal with Simple to find their third. He's dancing on the vent. He's hit them before, but not today. Sam's still there, and he goes for it again. They do find something right at the tail end, and it still smiles for them. But for, dare I say it, chat, it is compulsory if we want a competitive nuke.
Yeah, if they can grab this, if they can get themselves 4 rounds here, going into that second half, they get the pistol, right? They won the pistol in this map. They just weren't able to convert the follow-up, right? So there's definitely been a... Team isn't giving up yet. Hope dies last as the buy for NAVI is brittle at best. Simple will get back his weapon of choice, but Electronic and Bit, they've got some evictions in the buy, and they're 2 of the biggest names. Top of the scoreboard right here for NAVI. I'm going to have to operate with a little...
Oh, wow. I just watched Refresh go down in the opener again. He's having a screamer. Nade arrived, so... tidy hole and says goodbye to Katie in that dream 4T round. Distant now and it's bit again to fall. He's been found out. Tess has paid a bit of a heavy blood price for the first of the 1v3.
Just has to plant. He has to give himself a chance in this. Digits punched in.
They respect it. They want to strike together. Take the jump up. Engaging with one. Can he do it again? The 180. Just a 90-degree turn. Oh, one bullet's not enough.
Simple giving him a bit of a parting gift right here. You can't see it, but I'll let you know he hard-loaded a couple of mags right there into Tess's body before the defuse gets converted, making sure they remember this. Map 1, it was heroics. Map 2 could have been heroics. 16-14, close as you like. And right now, NAVI rubbing salt in the wound, 12-3. A masterclass on this CT side, scattered with a couple of heroic rounds. But just 4 more now for NAVI to convert, to put themselves in the semi-finals to take on ENCE.
And Boomic just giving his last pep talk, making sure everybody is in sync. Because, I mean, NAVI know as well as we do. 12-3 is great. Winning the pistol almost seals Heroic's fate. So a lot riding on this one, Chad. The playing field doesn't get much more level than a pistol round.
This is a must right now. As cliche as it is, this is the truth for Heroic here. They stare down the barrel of a momentous task. You need to mount round after round on this CT side. Squeaky smoke from Boomic.
Simple mission accomplished.
Spotted some info there. Sees the leg.
He's dancing with him, keeping Stown out of the round, and they can bounce straight into ramp. Nice click out of Tessus. Stown already met that P250, but it's down. Tessus is looking to come up huge for Heroic when they need him most. The CTs. Oh, Tessus! How do you get 3? He was alone in the site and takes the majority of NAVI out of the round. Electronic and Boomage, though. The bomb is ticking. Against the odds, NAVI bouncing on Electronic here, and he's gone. Heroic, the first of an incredibly long and arduous journey if they want to advance.
Yeah, and they're not out of hot water just yet. You know what that plant means. Likely to see the NAVI purchase here. Bomb goes down, extra money to work with. They've been very threatening. Has a couple of questions, right? Do you want to take a save, know that you can get a 4-buy into the next, or do you want to destroy Heroic? Do you want to embarrass them here? Do you want to blow them out of the water with a single-digit victory on the board? Well, there's a lot of options available.
When you say it like that, I feel like the answer is clear.
Yeah, well, this one isn't the give your star the biggest gun and let him work. This one here has a bit more of a team element about it. NAVI looking to get this one done with pace as a unit, as a group. Squeaky to be blown off.
Yeah, there's a distinct lack of incendiaries. They went for M4s instead. They won't be able to hold them at bay. They can't kick open the door here. NAVI flooding in. Refresh, tested, just the one. It's getting scary now for Heroic. Already NAVI occupy the site. And across the face, he's hit by the Tech 9. Heroic running out of players the one way down. It's calling upon Cadian and Tessus. But NAVI, they read it perfectly. They take the hero play. Maybe Tessus can find one of his own. Simple foils that plan, and Cadian reluctant as he readjusts.
See how dejected he is in this situation. That was their round. But with a crash and a bang, it all comes tumbling down for Heroic here.
4 M4s? At least 3. Heroic, they brought all of the big guns.
But this is the thing with NAVI and Force Spies. Traditionally, it's drop a couple of AKs and let the AKs work. This was them showing something different. It was a team-based top pop. They just went hard. They blew up and Squeaky. They run on in. And you pointed out the utility. Without those incendiaries to slow them down, the protocol utility, top is a feast for any of those pesky pistols. They run on in. They dismantle the defense. They get the bomb down and they convert. They even grab themselves 3 M4s.
Oh, wow. Heroic's own weapons could be used to seal their fate against them here. Third map, final quarter-final. Our semi-finals set upon the conclusion of Nuke.
Yeah, red carpet rolled out now. This is NAVI's map. This is NAVI's series. This is NAVI's crown.
Still on their brow for now. Aggression. It's been working for NAVI. Will it work for Stown? Oh, he's been spotted. Betrayed by his backpack. Gets away from it. In pursuit of answers arrives Cadian on the scene. He'd love to make the difference here. Give his team a manageable scenario, and Cadian does put 2 down range. This is set up now for Heroic to find something back, a response to the Tech9 topside hit. 2 to the good for Heroic. Objective, stop that plant.
Separated now. Decisions to be made here. Bit the tail of the attack.
Yeah, this is spicy. This is really spicy. They're in the right places initially. Tessus is going to have a lot on riding on that, and yeah, nice shot out of Simple. He knows where he is as well. Oh, Cadian's down, and the bomb will have safe passage. A 3v5. The force by Heroic, putting it all on the line for this. And it's just 5 seconds. A good shot, quick return out of Bit. First of the round puts him up to 15, and it's just refresh and Stown. They don't have a kit, Chad. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Bit's going to be the first contact. It's his responsibility. He makes a lovely hole. He's playing the meta game here, but they hit the shot somehow. Simple to come up clutch, a 1v2. Spraying bodies. Now he needs to spray them on the quick second defuse. That'll do nicely. Mission accomplished. And finishes it with Piznaz. Hey, he wants the acknowledgement. Making sure you're still here, Antwerp.
They can walk this one home now, Navi. The hard work's done. The hard work is done.
No doubt, dude. I mean, I can't believe you talk about Simple in their nightmares. You talk about Navi in their dreams. I think that Ancient is going to be there tonight.
Я уже комментировать устал, так что просто уже его включу. Комментаторы уже что срезали. Я комментировал первый матч. Второй немного.
Cadian gets them a double kill in a round like this, and it is still not enough. Simple makes it look too easy. Clock on his side. Glock comes out, and the final kill comes through. And that's the best they could do. And this was the choice. Heroic had 2 options here, is keeping the smiles on the faces. Mood in the camp for Heroic. It's not done yet.
That was the last time out, Chad. Exists. Now has a gag order issued. He will just have to watch as these final rounds play out. Whatever possible rousing speech you can generate in the face of this level of Na'Vi, I don't know.
Faceit trying his signature utility on Nuke these days. Completely obscuring the vision here of Katie, and that upgraded Scout not going to do a whole lot. Electronic making some footsteps, that will be noted. This warehouse player off Stown will hear this. Can communicate for the rotation, but that's going to weaken elsewhere. Rivich lingering, gets the chance and will convert. Cadian in the grave, 4 to find, and this is looking great for Navi.
The penultimate round for conversion and that semi-final spot.
This is the form you want to see the team in.
I mean, maybe there's a reason they weren't showing too much Nuke. Just getting it out of everyone's mind, forgetting just how dominant they can be on it.
Well, remember, Heroic chose to take it to Nuke. They had the choice. They opted to bring it to this battlefield, and they, once again...
Woof! That's a little something special out of... Oh! Oh! Does he do that? Can they close the round? Stown has given him an absolute brilliant double. You have to be able to convert these. That is a layup and a half from Stown, and now equipped with the Kalashnikov. Just survival on Unbreakable, called it for a reason. Shush on the MP9. Riding into a 5th round.
2 rounds in a row. Oh, Electronic's going to walk away with this, but 2 rounds in a row, an individual from Heroic has offered up a lifeline. This time round from Stown, it will be converted. A massive double on the Deagle, leading the charge here. 17 kills to his name, mind you.
I'm so glad that the Deagle still bangs. $700, but you put your crosshair in the right place. It can be so disruptive. Stown with a nice demonstration. Heading into round 20, Navi. The scoreline reads 14-5. Heroic dust themselves off, and Stown, watch this again. Watch this.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful second shot there on the Deagle. Oh, okay. Yeah, dinked on through. Stown immediately put on notice here.
You talk about Deagles. You see how far away Bit is?
Yeah, well, Bit's been chipped away at here. It's a bit of a brittle pie for Navi now. This is an opportunity for Heroic to start working into this game. This is a must as far as the conversions go. They get this one, they should get a freebie into the next. They'll start working on something on their CT side.
Heroic know they've been given an opportunity. Faces closer to the monitor than ever before, as they cannot slip up now. You do not want to be the one to give away that opening kill that could mark 15 for Navi. Antwerp willing them to the 15th. Standing in the way is Heroic. And Cadian. Not the hard part yet. And it's still Boomich. Gets away as well from the trade. Cadian flustered, getting pushed and runs out of ammo, leads to his demise. They're battered and bruised though, Navi, but they can count on their hero of Nuke, and Bits hit a Scorcher just off screen. But Electronic's still equipped with the big gun.
Look how low they are.
Same. They are so vulnerable. And they've got a decision to make. You can see these 2 Danes have made a decision.
Up the heavens here, seems to be the right call. He's put himself in a power position, but that's not where the fight's coming.
Refresh is really needs this for himself, for Heroic. And it's not quite the round. Bit allowed to get that bomb down. Needed to be 3 from Refresh. Oh, Tessus catches him in the heels as Bit was about to disappear and play a very cruel game. But instead, it's Tessus. Holds on.
Important from Refresh there. He only has 6 kills. He's had a rough game. He was fantastic on maps 1 and 2, right? He was having a lot of impact for the team here, but on Nuke, he has been kept very quiet.
Big from Boom as well. The first is great, but running down Cadian on the miss.
Yeah, I thought Cadian would have lost his crosshair there. Still manages to get 2 kills in that situation, so well handled. Keeps them just above water here. But that plant is fantastic. That is the difference between Navi into a half buy or Navi into a full buy. So fantastic work getting the bomb down. Lost bonus on their side.
Change up again. Electronic set up for success by his squad. And it's already Stown, deals with Boomich, but perhaps not ready for Electronic, as he does make haste and is fragged in the back. It's over toward the top side though. Perfecto catches one back. We are going to be floating in this.
This is a massive call from Cadian here. This is round defining this play. He knows he has to make a bit of a maneuver here. Guy just sitting on his haunches, has to get something done, and as he rounds the corner, everything could be in his hands.
Oh yeah, just on the retrieval now. Premonition and a dink! A dink! Simple's gun's just better. Couldn't find the second. And so he'll be operating on a low HP, but still with 45, Navi have a man advantage 15, 2 clicks away. Tessus and now Shush demanded to turn this on its head, a 2 versus 3. This would have to be brilliant out of Shush. He's been spotted out, great damage, goes unscathed and away. Takes a lick before, but now with the bomb planted, Tessus, perfect up until the point it wasn't. Still gets it done, and Simple in the clutch. That low HP from earlier, and with 10 seconds he's supposed to plant. He knows exactly where Tessus is. A mind game, and Tessus just brings the fight. Another big round out of Tessus, a high impact back-to-back round. And that will finally take the wind out of the sails of NAVI. Heroic might have a chance here to at least fill their lungs with some oxygen.
Well, this is the thing. This is how the comeback begins. These rounds that are so close and NAVI not being able to convert, that's where maybe a bit of doubt starts to creep into their minds. Starting to activate here at Heroic. 7 rounds the difference. NAVI, without getting that bomb down, definitely don't have as much cash in the coffers, but still want to try and keep the CT economy under control. They know that only one surviving in 2 consecutive rounds. There's just one needed and they can break Heroic here. The Danes are under pressure. They are under the pump and the fight taken. Down steps up again. Simple in the grave.
Wow. Just backing his aim. Takes that fight up against NAVI, no less, in the 3rd map, and Cadian's doing the same. Don't forget, no timeouts. This is Heroic demanded to go on quite the spree.
This is crazy though, the type of Counter-Strike they're playing, they're not backing down, right? They're playing heads up, they're still looking for fights. That's 2 jewels there that they seeked out, that they sought after, and they converted here as NAVI. They stand tall, they look for anybody else to grace their screens. Electronic has been an absolute monster, 27 kills to his name. How many more is this guy gonna find in regulation? Now trying to chase him down, will grab one back and put himself up to 20. The only so far for Heroic to do so, and they have handled another threatening situation for NAVI.
Yeah, always going to be a threat. And that's something else. Another body drops.
Well, that's Tessus, the hero of the last 2 dead.
Yeah, look at that position. Now that is playing it passive.
Yeah, he can't do anything from here, so he's going to try and activate late, and if they want to find him, they will have to thrust themselves very far forward. So they've sniffed him out, but look, they're confined to one of the worst areas on the map right now. They only have... no options whatsoever here. None of them are good.
And they opt to stampede loudly, projecting their final destination to their opponent. 10 seconds. They are just going to try and commit the Astralis smoke. And maybe Perfecto gets it down by virtue of an empty mag. Cadian closes up shop, but NAVI mission accomplished in one way.
Yeah, Constellation Prize right there, but the loss bonus, as mentioned, building now, and this is where it becomes a bit of an economy game, because Heroic, with Force staying alive, are building themselves a buffer, but the rounds is the bigger issue, right? So you want to get out of this hot water so your purchases are tidy every single round, but you know as soon as you lose one, you're still in a rough spot. So NAVI, with that, are able to get the guns back out. This game feels like a matter of time moment, but as I mentioned, the type of Counter-Strike Heroic are playing, it's not like they've cowered away. It's not like they're whimpering from the moment. They're still trying to keep that identity of a Heroic here, and if they still believe hope dies last.
Look, and immediately refresh taken out of the equation. Electronics had enough. He's decided it's over, and he ends it on his terms, leaping down from the silo and cracks open Heroic skulls. You have to take some initiative now. Take some space, regain some territory, some hope, and Shush has done just that. Still the unknown entity. Where did he go? Electronic. 2 scalps affixed to his belt. Simple going, walk about. Who will this be called upon? It looks like Cadian and Tessus likely candidates.
Powerful position with all the information they have in their favor here. Just depends on where the bomb wants to finish. The packs together, the utils there. The sound cues have been made, 40 seconds on this.
It's gonna be tough. Cadian is the contingency. Doors are swung open, nades are dropped. Trying to spray Tessus out of position. Jiggle, he gives up Simple, and he lets him slip. Slips away with a single point of health, and NAVI, they can't plant. Shush has found the perfect frag out of all of this chaos. And now it's Perfecto, and Cadian's got both of them. Flips around to Electronic. The bomb was spotted, a great strafe, 9 seconds. He can't stop it. He can't afford to risk it. 2 on 2. Shush right there, and the flash gets
no!
A disaster! He eats up the flashbang. The 2v2, Heroic within touching distance of the 9. And Simple sends them, condemns them to an 8-round, or rather 7, required out of Heroic in consecutive fashion, and they've got nothing.
Yeah, flustered there. Flustered there. You could see Heroic Caden in the door, throwing out all those nades, causing the downfall, and now NAVI need just one. They kept Heroic exactly where they wanted them, and now Broken limping in the final round of play.
Can the Walking Wounded find anything more in this third map, or will NAVI advance to the semi-finals? A couple of rifles and some hope.
Look at this, NAVI just taking their time.
Just hoping it's Heroic to jump straight into their jaws. Cadian has really impressed the analysts and fans alike. Oh, he's burning. Significant damage taken, but he stands his ground and will look to elope. This is risky business as pressure's applied elsewhere, and it's wide open.
Massive gap here. This is going to be hard. They need to find a fight, and they go into bit, 1-for-1.
That's powerful. You know the lobby lurk is gone. Freedom now for the CTs, and Cadian extends it so. Neutralizes Electronic. Decisions are being made on the fly now by NAVI.
Good play from Cadian here. He can shut this one down. The in-game leader, he's going to have to do it all.
He's got a read. He really has an understanding. And a hard shot. A better one out of Simple. Puts Cadian in a grave. Could this really be it, or have Heroic got anything more to say? We said it was just a question of putting it in for NAVI. And now, with every passing second, they start to believe the semi is theirs. Every decision you make, you second guess. You don't want to be the guy to open up the sight. Shush does so. It's down as well. Puts it onto the clutch. Master of NAVI. Perfecto has to come up. Clutch, he takes the first. Suspects a defuse, and that'll do! NAVI take it in 3. Off to the semi-finals of Antwerp 22. Sounds like Antwerp like that one a lot, Chad.
That's the form you want to see out of NAVI. The defending major champions on the stage doing their best work. The CT side of Nuke. Absolutely phenomenal stuff here.
Ладно, ребят, все. Закончу я, наверное, стрим. Закрыли Нави героиков, как я и думал. Спасибо всем за просмотр, всем спасибо. Забыл микрофон поправить. Ладно, пока. Мне завтра вставать рано. Жесть.